Caps Gaming Showcase Finals in Washington. We're gonna bury here to go on to face who?
Olympia, Prodigy, two Goliaths going head-to-head here tonight in a battle for supremacy here in the Caps Gaming Showcase NA Division, presented to you by Leidos and powered by Leaguegaming.com. Number 8 seed Olympia, Season 2 Caps Gaming Showcase winners, looks to make their way back to the finals here, but not if Prodigy has anything to say about that, as they've been climbing the ladder to make their way to glory in their own right here tonight. It's twitch.tv/capitals, and it's two behemoths battling right now here on twitch.tv. Good to be here. Nice to have you there. Nick DeMeo, aka F5 Penguin, alongside the action, right alongside my very good friend, It's King Lime, Tegan Blair, and we'll have Brandon bMaJuH Bigsby joining us in just a moment, and Dudley Do-Right behind the scenes giving you the latest and greatest in the scoreline updates right here this evening. Limer, it's going to be a fun one tonight, isn't it?
It's going to be a good one. It may say 8-2 beside their names, but these teams could easily be 1-2. There's going to be full action tonight. Neither of these teams want to lose this matchup, and it is more than just the 20K. It's all of the bragging rights on the table here, Nick, which we know sometimes can mean a lot too.
Yeah, the bragging rights, the chirping, the trash talking, all of that comes to a culmination here as Olympia looks to reclaim their throne and their seat at the table as champions, defending champs here in the quarterfinals. We're covering them tonight in this best-of-5 matchup, and I'll tell you what, if you don't have your popcorn ready for a best-of-5 this evening, you better go pop some in there. 2 minutes, 30 seconds on high. I'm currently, Lime, sitting down in an amazing chair. I know you are too, but wouldn't you believe it? Not everybody has the nicest chair in the house, and we should do something about that, I think.
Yeah, I think somebody needs to get their hands on some sort of zip chair by any means, Nick.
Do it quick, fast, in a hurry. Make your zippity zip way over to Zip Chair and the Caps Gaming team. We are proud, happy, and thrilled to announce that we have a giveaway for you in store. Visit the Caps Gaming Twitter at Caps Gaming right now for your chance to enter to win a new gaming chair courtesy of Zip Chair Gaming. We have not one, but 2 chairs left to give away. So if you stay tuned on Twitter as we progress through the Caps Gaming Showcase to see if you could be one of our lucky winners here. The next winner will be announced this upcoming Wednesday on the Caps Gaming Twitter at Caps Gaming. Make sure you get in where you fit in. Just go to their Twitter at Caps Gaming, and you can get yourself, hopefully, a nice zip chair. I am comfortable in mine. I know you're comfortable in yours. And, why not get a chair while you're watching some great action here on esports?
Hey, there's nothing better. Head over to @Caps Gaming. Make sure you guys go check out that giveaways. I know myself, I'm in pain all of the time, and these chairs are absolutely phenomenal.
You're not wrong on that. As we look at the matchup yet again, Olympia, Prodigy, get ready because this one's about to get good.
Yeah, Olympia versus Prodigy. They have great records, and we are going to bring in Brandon bMaJuH Bigsby.
Happy to be here with you, Tegan, and boy, oh boy, we had quite the treat earlier today in the EU in our matchup with Rolanda and Goons, and man, it's hard to say that it's going to get better, but I think it just might here. Prodigy and Olympia, teams with a lot of history, two of the top teams in North America, teams that have won championships, and teams that are pretty familiar with each other, so to speak. Maybe a little bit of a rivalry between these two as well. So, finals matchup that people maybe could have penciled in depending on seeding. We get to see right here in the quarterfinals. One team trying to win the Caps Gaming Showcase for the first time. Another trying to keep that proverbial crown on their heads in Olympia. So, should be fun. A lot to look out for, and can't wait to be here and calling it with you guys.
Yeah, there's nothing better. But let's take a look at the other matchups that we have, as we have a great playoff bracket here that we'll have a look at. And you can walk us through this here, Brandon.
Yeah, so obviously, like we said, quarterfinals here now, and like we saw in the EU, a lot of your usual suspects that you would have expected to be here are here at this stage. The only team that is a double-digit seed that made it was Monarchs. We saw them take down Starstruck last week, if you were here for that, but everyone else, like we said, about who you would expect. Instinct, the runner-up last year at the #1 spot, they moved on versus no expectations. Scary Hours, they were one of the dominant teams that were around that #1 spot, had that first seed until the last week of the season. They move on. Then obviously Isles, GT, and Delusions facing each other at that 4 and 5. That is guaranteed to be a good one. But the one we're looking at tonight, at that bottom left corner, Prodigy and Olympia 2 versus 8. Almost weird to see Olympia at an 8 seed. Usually they would be around that 3 or 4 seed, but lost their last 2 series in the regular season, which bumped them down a little bit, while Prodigy won every series after losing the opening week in week 1, which we covered. So 2 teams that have been hot all year long, 2 teams that have been championship contenders, meet up right here in front of our very eyes.
It's gonna be amazing to see here, Brandon. And before we get into and dive deep into the stats between these 2 amazing teams that have seen each other so many times, I think we have another little giveaway on our hands, don't we?
We do. It might not be Christmas, but the Caps Gaming crew is in a giving mood, and what better to give than Scuff Gaming controllers? The Caps Gaming team happy to announce that they'll be giving away 3 Scuff Gaming controllers throughout the rest of the Caps Gaming showcase in each North American-based stream starting tonight. That's right. You have a chance. Anyone listening has a chance to win a Scuff Gaming controller now through the finals here for NA. All you need to do is be active in our Twitch chat right here at twitch.tv/capitals, and we will announce today's winners later in the show. So stick with us. Hear out, look out. You might just win that Scuff Gaming controller. Obviously, a lot of gamers in the chat gotta have that quality controller in your hands if you want to play it at that optimal level like these players tonight. Here's your chance to win a controller for free, courtesy of Caps Gaming and Scuff Gaming as well. Should be fun to see who wins that.
Stuff from Caps Gaming and from Scuff. Amazing controllers, guys. Stay active in the Twitch chat. Now, Brandon, we spoke about how many times these teams have seen each other, and we've got some great matchup history here.
Oh yeah, these 2 teams are plenty familiar with each other, so much so that they just played each other on Thursday in the Sharks Pacific Cup. Olympia won both of those games 5-2 and 3-2, so that gives them a little bit more of that lead here in the matchup history. But as you can see, these 2 have played 11 times. Olympia leading the overall series 7-4. Now keep in mind, this only counts games that have gone through Leaguegaming.com, who our tournament obviously is powered by, but they're familiar with each other. They've had a lot of close games. 5 of the 11 were decided by a goal. 2 of them went into overtime, and this is from a span of about a year and a half to 2 years, from late 2020 all the way to right here, early 2022. So these 2 have a deep history. They're familiar with each other, and they're 2 of the rare teams that have kept their cores pretty intact throughout this year and a half span. So it's not one of those deals to where 3 or 4 players have switched for one of these teams. This is a continuous group, 2 continuous groups playing each other yet again, but this time a lot on the line and the potential to move on to the semifinals with $20,000 at stake at the end of it. So a lot on the line for these 2 in a big best-of-5 playoff series.
A great best of 5, and let's see how they've done so far, Brandon, as we've got a little head-to-head matchup where we can kind of decide who's leading what category here, my friend.
Yeah, and I think that it's kind of interesting because all of their stats, you would figure they'd be pretty even. Everything is rather contrasting for these 2 other than the record. Olympia, 14 more goals for, but Prodigy, 21 less goals against. Olympia controlling the time on attack and time differential, but Prodigy, more shots on net and not allowing as many shots on their own end. So usually when you have 2 top teams matching up like this, their stats are rather even across the board. But with this, there's clear advantages for one side, clear disadvantages for the other, and vice versa. So it's always kind of interesting with these matchups because it's a strength versus a strength. Maybe something to where you weren't as good on in the regular season versus something that your opponent maybe struggled with in the regular season. But you have to keep in mind, these 2 teams were top 10 in the standings all season long, so they were playing fellow top 10 teams. They're not going to necessarily have those mind-blowing stats when you're playing teams of that type of caliber. So maybe a little bit indicative of what we could see, maybe not. Just kind of depends on how this series and these games sway. But nevertheless, a lot to look out for, especially with Prodigy and Olympia knowing each other so well.
Yeah, they do know each other very well, don't they? And Brandon, when you take a look at the right side, that is Prodigy, the team that is actually ahead in the numbers, actually almost in half of what you see from Olympia.
Yeah, it's Gilly and Odie, especially on that right side. And it's interesting with Odie, obviously a guy that came over from Composure, was a staple of that Composure team. And it's funny, we were during that roster mania period and Rux transitioned his way away from Olympia. And people were like, man, that's going to be a big hole that Olympia is going to have to fill. But you replace one elite defenseman with another, you go from Rux to Odie, and it's been really seamless. You add in Gilly on that right wing, one of the best, if not the best goal scorer out of all of the wingers in NHL esports, and it's a really dangerous combination on that right side for Olympia. And boy, oh boy, the left side of Polgs and Geimer gonna have their hands full with that Olympia side on their kind of end of the board. So that's gonna be something I really look out for. There's a lot of star power on that side of the ice.
Yeah, we've called these two teams many a times, and this is going to be just as good, if not the best. You're absolutely right with Odie coming in and filling that hole. He's done an absolutely fantastic job, but I do have to say my boys over on Prodigy have been doing very well. They do keep a strong core. They do love that Cad, Polgs, Geimer. You know, you throw in Desi and boosh, and it's absolutely amazing stuff from them. They've been great, and they are on the up and up.
Yeah, and Prodigy has been one of those teams where they have just seen nothing but a constant ascendance of their team. This is a group that was filled of mostly ones guys, versus guys, hut guys that were a group of buddies that got into sixes. They were competitive, but not necessarily at first one of those teams that were maybe taken as seriously as one of those elite upper echelon teams back in 2020, but really saw themselves rise last year at around the early to mid 2021 period. And ever since then, it's been nothing but up. They saw themselves win a few tournaments, go to some finals, and that's where they started to meet up with Olympia as constantly as they did, bringing in guys like booch, like Reject, who have been so key to this team. And Prodigy, boy, would it be another feather in their cap to be able to knock out the defending champion in Olympia and potentially go on to win this thing. They went from being a team that was maybe not taken as seriously just because they went from that 1v1 background to a team that is a force to be reckoned with in every tournament that they enter in.
So, Brandon, very little time as we're about to deep dive into this. Give me one player on either side that is going to change the series.
I think I gotta go with two wingers. For Olympia, I'm gonna go with Gabsy. 30 assists in the regular season for him. He is one of the high-key players that really is able to both score and assist to his teammates. Really did a good job of that all season. He's kind of one of the straws that stirs the drinks in terms of the forward group of any esports line in NHL. Olympia being no different. No matter how much talent they have, he's going to be a guy that really has his stick on the puck a lot throughout the series. And for Olympia, I gotta look at Cat. 24 goals in the regular season. You know he is always a goal-scoring threat when he is out there. And we know he wants to win this series, especially with Grim on his side at D. So it's gonna be fun to watch those two wingers. One that can both score and assist. Both of them really, a lot of them have a lot to offer. Gonna be fun to watch those two match up.
As we are here, thanks for that, Brandon. Tegan will be joining me in just a moment on Color. Olympia versus Prodigy. Nick DeMeo, F5 Penguin. You can follow me all over the web at F5 Penguin. It's at It's King Lime and at bMaJuH. Prodigy going north on your screen here in those blue and blue jerseys. We love to see those. Olympia going south in those royal yellow and purple, almost Lakers-esque. As we begin here, we'll talk about their play style shortly. Nice little slip through there. In front chance. Off the pads there of Reigns early on here. In period number one, things are beginning to heat up already. booch sends that around. And for Pogs. Pogs, recent 1v1 Bolts Chell Challenge winner. He's got it back on his stick. Here in sixes. That one's intercepted. Pass up from Geimer. Now Gapsey moves it along. McFlowry. As I said, McFlurry and Flower at the same time. Goes offside here. 16-17 to go here in the first period.
Good start here for both teams. We've got the yellow and the blue contrast on the ice looking very nice here, Nick.
Looking pretty sharp indeed. As play moves along, another slip through for Pogs. He's there. Odie now will recover that out of the corner. We welcome everybody in, twitch.tv/Capitals. Hey, turnabout's fair play there. One-time chance goes wide. As Reject slid across to make the save. Here goes Cad. Wrist shot in range, just smothers that up and holds on.
That's a good hold by Reigns, and Cad comes in, tries to get the puck on those shots from the outside. We've seen them go in quite a few times here in NHL 22. We'll see what we get as we carry on.
Face off here, one quickly. Pokes to Cad. Can't get that shot past the defense here in Olympia. It's Prodigy looking to take down the defending champions. Gabsy shoots one on. Kind of stuck his stick and poked at it. Kicked off to the left side of your screen. Give and go here. Odie up top. Slap shot in. Rebound chance. That's McFlurry with a good shot. Reject makes that save. Odie again slap shotting in. Looking for those rebound kicks. Good rebound control here by the goalkeeper so far.
Great saves there by the goalkeeper and to hold on, and just kind of you see Olympia moving the puck around. Kind of they're feeling it here. Nick is Grim and Odie touching the puck a lot back at the point and getting it through.
Grim with a slap shot goes wide. As the point shots are coming in, and I know you love that shot from the back. That's kind of your thing there, Tegan. I love it as well as a former right defenseman. In my esports days, these thumbs now are tired, and these boots are no longer made for skating. That's no longer what they'll do. As Gabsy takes a seat there in front of his bench. Olympia, good to recover here. 12 gone so far here in the first period. No score. Couple shots apiece. They'll come back and reset. Expect the teams to be a little bit slow on the uptake here as they feel each other out and work their way up the ice. Try to see where the weaknesses are as we go off sides here.
6:51 to go here in the first period, and you're absolutely right, Nick. Everybody's just kind of feeling each other out as both of these teams have lots of firepower. We already know that, but it's going to be a defensive battle, capitalizing on mistakes where they can.
Face off there, one back. Prodigy has control. Going to be moved along by Desi. Given up to McFlurry quickly. Odie back on the uptake. Try to slip that one over for Gilly. They'll fight for it behind the net. Cad now will scoop it out instead. Cad just with a lot of speed. Everybody's on side. Lays it out to Desi. Desi looking for a wrist shot in. Slot area. Can't get that shot on net. Slap shot of the long though. That'll connect nicely to Gilly. Goes to McFlurry. Back to Gilly. Back down low. They're setting up now. Here goes Olympia. Back in the zone in control. Gilly fakes the slap shot in front. Flower. It's McFlurry over there. Grim keeping that in. We'll see if the Flower power steps up again as that shot rang through from the hashes, but did not get through to the goalie. Kicked along now. Sent in. Grim will go back and grab it. As they'll flip it in. Giving chase. Under a minute to go here in the first period. Game number 1. In front, chance, he scores! That's Gabsy with the close quarters. Wide open on the far side of the net. It's 1-0 for the defending champions.
Fantastic dump play, and you see McFlurry come down and get all over that. A little bit of a mislapse in the defensive zone there for Prodigy. They weren't able to get on top of Gabsy. He was wide open. He's got a wide open cage, and that's going to be his 10th of the playoffs.
Had 30 assists, 14 goals in the regular season. He gets to double digits there with that goal here in the quarterfinals. Try to feed that one over to Pogues as the time runs out here in the first period. Flipped out. And that's going to do it for period number 1. 1 goal. That one goes to the champs as they walk out of this one 1-0 at the end of 1.
So pretty slow start to this period. 15 minutes kind of quiet, but all of a sudden Olympia comes out swinging in the last 5, Brandon.
And that's how a lot of these games, especially between these two teams, can tend to start. The first 10 to 15 minutes, kind of a feeling out period, especially with this being game one. It's the first matchup, so you kind of dip your toe in the water, see how the game flows, how things feel, and then the more you go on through the game, things start to ramp up a little bit more with every passing minute, and you see Olympia really being able to take advantage of that. They had the majority of shots, the majority of time on attack, 6 shots compared to 1 for Prodigy, so really a solid period from Olympia. Can't ask for much better than what you got from there, and Gabsy's goal really just the icing on top of this cake for that one. A great period from Olympia. Now we'll see if Prodigy can come back and respond here with a goal of their own in the second period.
As we begin period number 2 here, twitch.tv/Capitals, the Caps Gaming Showcase North American Quarterfinals. As Polg's just trying to split that defense early on here with help from CAD. As this showcase is powered by Leidos, presented to you and powered by Leaguegaming.com, the League Gaming Dynamic Stat System at the top of your screen. Polg's takes a hit. He'll get up. They'll reset. We'll have some playoff updates for you from around the league in just a moment. Delayed penalty coming up here. Geimer. Looking for a way in. Extra man might be coming out here. Desi shoots one on. Soft shot. Covered by Geimer from the left corner. Sent all the way around. That's going to get all the way to CAD. Send it up to Geimer again. Geimer behind the back pass. Touched up. And Olympia takes the first penalty of the game. Prodigy goes on the power play.
Prodigy headed to the power play here. Polg's tripped up in the neutral zone. A good job there, almost creating a scoring chance without the power play. Now they'll have 2 minutes to do so.
Prodigy with lots of time in the offensive zone so far. Odie looking to clear that one out. Easily does it. Power play percentage, 28.6%. Ranked 10th in the league so far for Prodigy. Good feed up to Polgs. Polgs, CAD shot on, goes wide. Deflected off a body in front. Desi now. Desi looking to get one to the middle. Good shot there. Good save there by Reigns.
Awesome save by Reigns. 30 seconds to go here in the power play, and Olympia doing a good job. We saw lots of penalty killing earlier today, and this is being textbook from Olympia.
That was bMaJuH in the middle trying to get that puck. He's just jockeying for position. Rebound chance. Penalty time's expired. That shot off a body again. Wrapped all the way around. Desi's going to get there and beat out. Getting that puck out of the zone. They'll keep it in. bMaJuH from the right side. They'll change positions now. Oh, and Gilly with a good steal right off the boards. Lots of speed. Has a step on. Good stick work there from Desi. Desi stepped up tall. Made that break up play and sent it along into the offensive end for their team in Prodigy. Grim will start it now for Olympia. Has it down low. This is where they worked from to get that opening goal. About 15 in-game minutes ago. Up now for Grim. Grim. Oh, just going to take it all the way back out of the zone. Smart move maybe for Grim to not give up that turnover with CAD charging right at him.
Yeah, possession is everything in these elite games. As you see, it's given up there, and here comes Prodigy.
Had it in the zone, just couldn't get it out of the blue line. Wrap around. Oh, they cut it short. CAD looked to go to the wraparound. He just changed angles and almost beat Reigns.
That's two things Prodigy likes to do. They like that little short side dip out. They also like that sneaky pass when they catch the goalie moving. Watch for that here.
bMaJuH now with a step. That was put aside. Shot there goes wide. Might have bounced off of Reigns' pad. They're just trying to pelt them from up close range. Lead pass that was intended for Gilly. Broken up there by the defense. In Prodigy. As they're back to full strength, as we should have mentioned, but it's felt like a Prodigy power play for the most part of the period number 2 here. There's a shot there. Can't find the net. CAD, though, instead does. It's just a turnaround shot, so Reigns will hold that and get a draw.
A quick play by CAD here, Nick. It's been pretty routine saves here for Reigns.
Reigns making the saves when he has to. Faceoff will come to his right. Have to make one more here, maybe. No, Grim will take it away and prevent that from being a thing. As Desi looking to get a step on him. McFlurry trying to center that one. Did so, but couldn't find an Olympia stick. Geimer will take it back. Now Geimer with under 3:30 to play. Bank shot off the boards, intercepted by Gabson. Gabsy to Grim now. Grim does the same thing. Saucer pass connects though. Gilly now with a step tries to dance that one in front. Reject able to make that save. Good work by Reject there to keep this a 1-0 game so far. Gilly take it away. 2-on-2 coming back through the neutral zone. Sent around now. Intercepted Desi. Desi couldn't keep it though. McFlurry looking for a shot on. Gabsy will do the same. Now Gilly. Good stick lift work here from Prodigy as we approach under a minute here in the second period.
Great defense here from Prodigy. They need to hold on as Olympia putting the pressure on pretty good here.
10 seconds left here. Desi, one last chance up ice. Flip it over to bMaJuH. Can't make anything happening of that, so no score in the second period. Still a 1-0 game. Olympia on top, at least for now.
At least for now is right, and they're doing a pretty good job in the offensive zone there, Brandon.
Yeah, great job so far for Olympia. Reject has had to make some pretty big saves so far in this game. Otherwise, Olympia very well could have had another tally on the board. But something I think that's gone a little bit quiet in this game has been the defensive work from Olympia in their own zone. You notice that Grim had 3 blocked shots. You might have seen that on the bottom of your screen. Olympia's done a great job of creating traffic in front of Prodigy and not letting them get those really high quality looks on range so far in this game. With a team like Prodigy that really is able to work the puck around and earn themselves those really high quality chances, so important to take away that space. Olympia doing an excellent job of that so far through 40 minutes.
That they are, Brandon. We'll see if they can pour it on through the third here as we go down to ice level with Nick DeMeo.
Thanks, guys, as always. Scoreline's coming in. We'll go to Brandon in just a moment once we get a stoppage, period number 3 here, because the action is starting to pick up. Grim now. Up for Gilly. We know these players so very well here. They know each other equally as well. That's why this has been a game of defensive mindedness, at least for now. I expect things to open up as the series progresses here. Shooting one, centering pass off the defenseman there by Olympia. That's Prodigy, and we got a tie game.
And just like that, Polgs comes out with an answer and an early one. And what a goal that is for Prodigy. You get the close quarters in there, Nick. We see those come into play so often with the X factors, and a great job to tie this game early. And if we would have known, we could have started here.
Would have known if we could have started here? Indeed, as that one's flipped in. Now Olympia, as they're tied up, looking to get their lead back here. Or will we see a lead change, perhaps? Cad, bMaJuH, shot, chance! At the front there, and a sliding Reigns makes that save. Now with speed is Olympia through the neutral zone, trying to get that one past the blue line. Can't do so. bMaJuH now. Around the back of the net. And out for Gabsy. Gabsy to Gilly. Quick passes through the zone. They're trying to set up shop there low. But so far, Prodigy has had most of the answers to the questions that they've presented. Leading pass, trying to split that defense again. Get a step behind was Polgs as his speed trying to go to work here for Team Prodigy. Right there at the blue line. That's broken up by Olympia.
Back and forth neutral zone hockey here as Olympia finally gets comfortable in the offensive zone, Nick.
Oh, centering feed as that's Reject scooping it up. And we get a stoppage, and this gives us time to go over to Brandon for a playoff update.
A few Game 1 final scores coming in. Scary Hours wins 2-1 over Hidden Potential in their Game 1. They won that game in overtime. Number 1 Instinct, 2-1 win over 11-seeded Monarchs. That was a close game. And Isles GT over Delusions right now, 2-0 late in the third in their Game 1.
Thanks for that, Brandon. We'll have more of that, I'm sure, coming our way as we progress through this evening, this best of 5. So we're approaching the halfway point here. We're past it now. 1-1 ball game, as some would say here. Grim chasing back for it, kicks it along the ice. bMaJuH and Cat on the steal. Wrist shot, short side, save Reigns. As Grim will try to take it out once more. He'll do so successfully. Beat Cat on the right side. Good little slip by there from Grim. Going to work here now. McFlurry set up shot behind the net. It's a shot in. Bounces a couple of times. Found his way back to Gabsy. That's going to be Geimer just stepping up way out of his area and picking that one off. That's a fiery wrist shot coming in. Screened, but Reigns was able to see it.
That's a great play there by Geimer to kind of, like you said, he jumped right out of his defensive zone, send Cat off to the races. They get a good shot in an offensive zone draw here.
One-time chance there, and that one goes just a bit outside. As that was a good shot by Pogs, but he could not beat the goalie as we go offside here. 5 minutes to play here in regulation time, and we'll come back out of the zone.
These two teams are not shy of taking this to extra hockey here, Nick, so don't be surprised if we get that, but we still have 5 minutes to go.
Oh, bonus hockey. Some people love it, some people hate it. When it comes to the quarterfinals, I'm kind of here for it. So we move across the final quarter of period number 3. 2-on-1 forming here. Cad, Pogs found him. Oh, he had it there. Good chance there by Pogs, but he ran out of runway. So now Grim and Odie trying to start things from the back. He will to Gabsy. Good poke check there. Comes out of the zone. Final 100 minutes, or 100 seconds rather, of regulation time. Cad trying to do a little dance. Could not get down tonight. That one was picked off by Grim, pushed aside. Geimer now.
Good defense there by Geimer. It's more than twice he's grabbed that puck on the trap coming into the zone, giving Prodigy a great chance here.
Trapping really well, trying to set up a counterattack or at least allowing time for Prodigy to get back into shape. And they're doing great at that so far here in periods 2 and 3 of game number 1. This is a best of 5 turnaround chance there. Reject standing tall so far. Up top for Odie. Slap shot in. Blocked off Pogs. Gabsy gets rubbed off that one nicely. Centering feed there. Puck will squirt away, and it was slashed at, and it clears the zone. Final 5 seconds here. Up for Cad. Last effort there as it just went wide. And as you called it, Lime, we are going to overtime.
That one went quite wide there, maybe gripping the stick a little tight there in the final moments, but here we are. No shy these teams are to overtime, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he had the Scuff gaming controller. Maybe that had something to do with it, but nevertheless, overtime, another 1-goal game. We mentioned it earlier when we noted that graphic about the matchup history between these two teams. 5 of those 11 games were decided by a goal, with 2 of them going to overtime. And not only that, each of these teams won one of those overtimes. So it's 1-1. We have a really close game. And like we said, extra hockey, you never know what's going to happen, especially with 2 teams like this. I'm expecting to kind of see a similar trend. Not too much aggressiveness. Going to try to stay safe. Stay careful, keep from making that mistake while trying to force your opponent to do that very same thing. Should be a lot of fun, but here we are. Already we have a close one and 1 goal. The next goal potentially could decide it.
In chat, twitch.tv/capitals, please let us know who your overtime winner will be. Sound off in the chat. Let's hear it. As Odie starts this one out, Gilly whiffed on that shot. Looking for a fire on net. They try to pick it up again, but it's stolen by Geimer. Geimer slowly trying to break this out. He'll lay it over for Desi. And here's the breakout beginning. Up through for Pogs. Pogs now. Wrist shot on, and Reigns slides over for a beauty of a save.
What a gorgeous save by Reigns. Pogs had to pick a side. He decided forehand. And what a fantastic stop by Reigns to keep this a 1-1 game.
A little bit of a hut move there by Pogs as he's going into his bag of tricks there with a nice move around the defense. Trying to put one past Reigns, and Reigns just too good for that shot. See if they get one more chance at it. Maybe another one-on-one. As Pogs has been sniffing out that side the entire time as a rebound chance comes in. Flips up into the air. Gabsy with a good shot. A wraparound chance shut down. Odie now. Loses that puck at the blue line. Comes out for Grim to support him. Grim will flip that in, trying to get past Prodigy. Chopped along for bMaJuH. bMaJuH will take it out the centerman. Over to Desi, right side. Slows down, pumps the brakes, and passes it to Cad. Cad will give it up to Gabsy. And it goes over to McFlurry now as we go offside. So far, Prodigy has really been pushing the heat a little bit.
Yeah, we haven't seen Olympia fire the flame up, so to speak, yet here, Nick. They're going to give it a shot, but it's really been good trap hockey from both defensive Desi and Geimer from Prodigy.
As Desi scooped that up as the puck fell right to his skates. Come over the red line. Gabsy right side. Everybody collapsing. Spinning around. Now behind the net. McFlurry. McFlurry looking for a lane in. Tries the other side on the right. Bumped off by bMaJuH. bMaJuH will just scoop it along. Move it out for his team. They'll reset though. As Prodigy's been very deliberate on their breakout so far.
Yeah, it seems like they have a plan every time they bring the puck up the ice. You see the dump in there. They waited for the wingers to get energy so they could attack and advance the zone, and then everybody's back for trap hockey to get it right back. There's Desi with it again.
Desi's been all over the ice, intercepting, picking it off, stealing it, taking it away, doing everything he's got to do so far to keep his team in this game. And that's Geimer as well. So the defense really going to work here for Team Prodigy. Cad looking to cut to the middle. Thought better of it. Gave it up on the outside, and now a penalty. Interference, the call. Prodigy goes on the power play in overtime.
That's the last thing you want to do, isn't it, Nick, is taking penalties in overtime. Gabs is going to be sitting in the box. Prodigy has 2 minutes. Look for a face-off play here, as they love to communicate.
See if they hit the set play. Cad here. Take it out to center point. Give it up to Desi. 0 for 1 tonight on the power play. Try to pass that one up, and an overtime winner. Oh my goodness. That bounced off the backboard, fell to bMaJuH's stick, and he tucked it in beating reins. And bMaJuH wins this for Team Prodigy in overtime.
What a goal. I don't know if he planned it, but he might be saying he did, Brandon, as that one, I think he was trying to go down to Polds on the cut. It goes off the back wall right onto the stick of bMaJuH, and what a goal.
You know, you could ask bMaJuH what the plan was on that goal, and I think the only thing he would say is that it was calculated, to say the least. Most things that happen in NHL esports, especially with top teams like this, most times they're done with intent. You may not know exactly the way it's going to go. You can't plan the way the puck is going to bounce, but more times than not, the motions that you make, the moves that you make are done with intent. I think that bMaJuH had an idea that he was in a scoring position. Maybe didn't know that the puck would fall so favorably to him the way that it did, but right place, right time, have to put yourself in the position to get that bounce. bMaJuH did so right there, and Prodigy gets the winner in game 1 in overtime.
Gorgeous winner it was, Brandon. Is definitely not expected, but I best bet, like you said, if you asked bMaJuH, you'd say that's just how we drew it up, baby. And it's right off the back of the net onto the stick, and that's a 1-0 lead, isn't it?
Yeah, a 1-0 lead in the series, and you have to remember, speaking of 1-0 leads, Olympia had a 1-0 lead in this game, so a nice job from Prodigy being able to climb their way back after the first period was really all... the first 30 minutes even, we were kind of talking about how Olympia seemingly controlling the play after what was a bit of a feeling out period. They got that first goal, had a majority of the shots, a majority of the time on attack. It just felt like as the game went on, Prodigy continued to start to feel themselves a little bit more and got to generating some chances, generating some momentum. And then after that first goal from Polks went in, looked like a completely different team. The momentum kind of swayed their way, and it felt like Prodigy controlled the game, and they really grabbed that by the horns from that point on. It carried through to that overtime, and like we said, just got to be at the right place at the right time and create that chance for themselves. They did right there for the OT winner, and bMaJuH was right where he needed to be to finish it off.
Yeah, overtime is very exciting. I was right on the edge of my zip seat, and you could be too. As it is giveaway season, folks. Friendly reminder to visit Cabs Gaming Twitter at Cabs Gaming to enter for a chance to win a new gaming chair, courtesy of Zip Chair Gaming. We still have 2 chairs left, Brandon, to give away, so stay tuned on Twitter as we progress through the Caps Gaming Showcase to see if you could be one of our lucky winners. The next winner would be announced this coming Wednesday on the Caps Gaming Twitter.
And remember, that's not the only thing we will be giving away, because we will also be giving away a Scuff gaming controller right here tonight. After game 2, we will be giving away a controller, one of 3 that we will be giving away during the NA broadcast right here at twitch.tv/capitals. We will be announcing winners for every single broadcast of NA from now all the way up until our finals here in a few weeks' time. You have to be here in order to claim said prize, but if you stick around, you might hear your name called and might get to win yourself a nice Scuff controller. Gotta have the right controller to play some NHL 22. This is the way to get yourself not just a controller for free, but a high quality controller for free. So the Caps Gaming team and Scuff Gaming doing great stuff, providing us 3 Scuff Gaming controllers to give away right here on twitch.tv/capitals.
So grab your phone or grab your keyboard, exclamation point giveaway in the chat, guys, and you will be able to get your hands on that Scuff Gaming controller, as we are giving that out right after this next game, aren't we, Brandon?
Yeah, so we get to see one more high-flying action of a game, and you get to potentially win something for yourselves as well. And remember, like you said, exclamation point giveaway if you want to win, and you have to be here as well to claim that. So not only is there going to be a winner for that Scuff Gaming controller, but Prodigy, a winner in game 1, 2-1 in overtime. A great game nevertheless, fought back from being 1-0 down. And I think the big thing, like we said, just Prodigy being able to really flip the momentum in that game after it felt like Olympia had everything going for them in that first 30 to 40 minutes.
Definitely did. It was a hard-fought battle, 1-1 hockey game until it got to overtime there, and then a little bit of a bounce play. First period, both teams kind of feeling themselves out a little bit, so to speak, Brandon, and then as they carried on, Prodigy was just able to score 2 unanswered and get themselves into a W.
Yeah, and it doesn't always have to be pretty, but as long as you get that win, that is what matters. And something else that I think we maybe haven't talked about a ton, but you have to keep in mind, these 2 teams just played Thursday. Might not been this tournament, but they have a feel for one another. They just played 2 games Thursday. Olympia won both of those games, but maybe Prodigy, who lost those 2 games, kind of using some of the things that they learned, picking the brains and kind of looking back at that, adjusting a little bit from those games. Sometimes it can kind of go to your advantage if you play a little bit before playing in a series like this. Prodigy looking pretty sharp there the more that the game went on, so that's something to kind of look out for. Prodigy adjusting, looking really sharp, especially in the last period and a half of this game, so we'll see if they can keep that up or if Olympia can kind of do what they did right through the first 30 minutes of that game 1, because they were looking all gas, no breaks there for the first 30 minutes. Was Prodigy able to catch up to them there at the end?
Yeah, why don't we hop over and check out that playoff picture, Brandon, and we can get a little bit of a playoff update of the scores around so far.
Yeah, we're in game 2s now. Hidden Potential, they are up 2-0 on Scary Hours in the 3rd period. Remember, Scary Hours won game 1, so Hidden Potential currently on their way to tying that series at 1 apiece. And they're not the only ones looking to do so. Monarchs up by the same score versus Instinct, 2-0, and they lost game 1, while Isles GT and Delusions still at 0 apiece after Isles GT won game 1. So far, all of the top seeds leading their series, but those lower seeds starting to try to push back a little bit. We're at that point of the playoffs where even those lower seeds can make those runs because of all these good teams that have been the top of the standings all season long. So you'll maybe see one of those higher seeds fall down depending on how things shake out.
Possibly could. We saw the Monarchs do just that, so anything is possible, Brandon. As we saw that bank pass off the back of the boards, we now know anything is possible. You guys can win that Scuff. Make sure you exclamation point giveaway in the chat. You guys can spam it up right now, as we are going to be giving that away after this next game. And as we dive right into it, Brandon, do you think it'll be another Prodigy W, or do you think Olympia is going to come back and we're going to see that kind of teeter-totter effect like we saw in EU?
I think you're definitely going to see the latter. It's hard to beat a team like Olympia even once, let alone 2 times in a row. Olympia, I think, played a good enough game to potentially win that. Just a play here, a play there, and a few saves from both goaltenders being the difference in that game. It's great if a team as Prodigy is, Olympia knows how to respond. Don't be shocked if they win this game too and tie this up at 1 apiece.
Thanks for that, Brandon. As we are kicking off game number 2. Prodigy versus Olympia. Prodigy took game 1 in 1 overtime period, winning it 2-1. As he'll flip it in here, that's Geimer. Waiting for Polks to get there, pushed up against the boards. Geimer will retrieve it. Slap shot on. That was blocked. Desi now tries one. That one goes wide. Rebound chance, though, to Polks. As Polks tried to stuff that one in on the short side. Reigns makes that save, and good to make that first save after giving up the game-winning goal not too long ago. He'll get the face-off here to his right. One back by Odie, or to Odie. Odie will skate it over center. Trying to send that one up for his left winger in Gilly. Couldn't connect. Polks now will scoop it up. Desi. Polks takes a hit. Slap shot blocked by Gabsy. Now Grimm over the blue line. In down low. Fighting forward from the corner. Puck gets stopped up. Going to send that one up at will. Odie now found Gilly. Shot there, blocked. And the defense for both teams right now just getting in these shooting lanes. And that's 4 blocked shots in mere minutes.
Who needs a goalie when you're getting blocked shots like that? And just bMaJuH rips one on Reigns, and what a great save.
bMaJuH looking to sneak one past Reigns. Not going to happen.
Yeah, Reigns doing a great job of shutting the door there, and he needs to get Olympia kind of built on here, as this has been another back and forth slow period.
Have a playoff update for you in just a moment off the set play there. Cad rips one. Reigns slid over to make that great save as that one's dumped in. 3 Prodigy players back there to support that puck. They'll do so. And it will start with Desi. Desi with some skating power. Stops up at the half boards. One-time chance from a downtown area. Reigns holds on, and you'll hold on as we go over to Brandon for a playoff update.
Few Game 2 updates. Monarchs extends their Game 2 lead over Instinct 3-0. They look on their way to being able to tie that series up. Hidden Potential still up 2-0 in the 3rd period in Game 2 versus Scary Hours. And Isles GT and Delusions scoreless so far through the 2nd period in their Game 2. Isles GT leading that series 1-0.
As we're halfway gone through period number 1 here, scoreless. Game 2. Twitch.tv/Capitals. Happy to be here. Nice to have you there along for this featured broadcast. Gilly's got it. Slap shot in. Looking to put something on it. Maybe get a deflection in front. They're crashing the net every single time these shots come in. Good deflection there. Tipped in. Good save by Reject. Odie looking to sidestep Polks. He'll do so. It's back up to Grimm. Grimm will switch positions. Trying to beat out Cad. That slap shot goes wide. Now Gapsy short side. Chance off the mask. And he'll try to wrap it in front. 2nd effort again. And that's 3 shots from Gabsy. 3 saves from Reject.
That's about 3 shots in 3 seconds, and Olympia's pouring it on. Prodigy needs to get this puck out.
Get it out and reset. They're going to do it. They listened to you that time, Limer.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing.
Coach Teagan knows. Coach Teagan knows.
Right.
As McFlurry has it from the right circle. Fed in front. Centering chance. Loose puck. There's Gabsy again. And that time, Reject just going to step on it, smother it, cover it, put it in gravy, and serve it up to go. Still hang on for the whistle.
Pretty good job here by Prodigy to kind of weather the storm that Olympia is putting on right now. And they got to try and get it down. As here's a 3-on-2, Nick.
Cad with the 3-on-2. Trying to get somebody charging in. Fake that glove save, and then A low angle shot that was range, just kind of seeking that puck out near his pads.
So both goaltenders at both ends, they start with R and they are making great saves nonetheless.
We talk about these goalies. When good things happen off the face-off, there was bMaJuH. As they continue to pound down Reigns, they finally beat him. The opening goal this time from Team Prodigy. The centerman bMaJuH gets his 12th of the playoffs, and it's 1-0 for Prodigy.
No, I always feel bad, Nick, when you call out and say how good a goalie's doing, and right off the face-off, there's a goal. But Prodigy is very deadly in the offensive zone. They create so many face-off plays where goaltenders and defenses really have to watch out. They have so much in their bag of tricks. You never know what they're dishing in for, and they've got themselves up 1-0.
You know, my old coach used to say committed to mission. He'd have it stapled at the top of the doorway as you walked out of the locker room. Prodigy's committed to mission right now as they continue to just be disciplined and hammer it down. However, I say that, and Olympia goes on the power play.
Yeah, just like that, you know, we got our crystal balls out and we're making things work. Power play here for Olympia.
30% on the season so far, ranked 10th. They improved that number from last game. Quick passing there, shot goes wide. Trying to get this cleared out. Cat will do it. Stops and goes. Back skating through, and he almost recovered his own loose puck. Cross ice pass that was intended for Grimm. It connects to him. Gilly to Grimm on the give and go. Up to Odie. Odie spinning around. Center point. He's found a lane. He's going to drive in, drop it to Grimm. He's going to support him by going back to up top. He's going to pick it up from the left corner. Grimm now. Oh, trying to that quick one-touch pass back to Odie, and they couldn't connect.
Yeah, we're used to seeing a lot of puck movement through Odie and Grimm. They really like to control the play, especially on the power play.
Odie now full strength, shot in. Bread basketed there by Reject, and he'll hold on.
Yeah, good idea to hold on to. 7.7 left on the clock. Prodigy's going to want to come out of this period with a 1-0 lead.
5 seconds left here in the period. As it's fought behind the net, it's going to be hung on to by Cad. So that's going to do it at the end of one. A different story in game number 2. A 1-0 opening goal by bMaJuH gives Prodigy the 1-0 lead.
You got the last goal in game 1. You got the first goal in game 2, Brandon, and they are buzzing right now.
Indeed they are, and Prodigy continuing that forward momentum that they got going for themselves in that game 1. You just gotta get the feeling that the more that this game and the series goes on, the better they seem to get. Prodigy has a bit of a history of having that ability. Even if they do start off a little bit slow, you can usually count on them to tick things up a few notches and to continue improving and to continue getting better. That's been the story of this team, really just from 2020 on to now, starting at a ground base, getting better as they go on from their championship runs all the way to now. This series so far has been no different. So now Olympia chasing the game a little bit. We'll see if they can respond, get a goal to tie this one up, and maybe get that momentum back over in their favor. If any team can do it, it's the reigning champs.
Reigning champs down by 1 in the series, down by 1 in the game. Game number 2. Caps Gaming Showcase presented to you by Leidos, powered by Leaguegaming at twitch.tv/capital. Scorelines coming up at the top there. We'll update you as play progresses here. You'll know what's happening with the other 3 matchups around the league, as Brandon will also fill us in courtesy of Dudley Do-Right, who's keeping an eye on things behind the scenes for us. We can't thank him enough for his contributions and efforts as we move through the playoffs. As Olympia tries to move through the neutral zone, Pogues will steal that one. Slows it down, finds a nice feed over to Cad. Cad rings that one on, and reins it in.
Reigns it in all right, and he's gonna have to do a lot more than that. He's gonna have to be perfect here if he's gonna want to give his team a chance to at least tie it up 1-1.
2 shutout scores coming in. You'll see them at the top right of your screen, courtesy of Leaguegaming's dynamic stats system. Score lines come in, they show up on your screen. Can't get any better than that. It's Gilly trying to center that one. He did so, but it fell to bMaJuH's stick. bMaJuH can't find Cad. Pogues was onside. He'll give chase. Trying to chase down Odie. Stick is out on the forecheck. He'll peel off. Odie controlling it from Gabsy. Cat will take that one away in the high slot area. Move through now. Desi. Desi gets accosted by Gabsy just for a moment as he slips by him. 7 gone so far here in the second period.
Great job by bMaJuH. He's got he's got the game-winning goal and the opening goal here. But not only that, he just stopped a goal as Olympia tried to thread the needle in front. Both D-men were on both one-timers, and a great job by bMaJuH to stay in front.
Loose puck in the middle there. That one fell right to Reject's stick. As he pushed that aside. That time he makes the save. Rebound off to the left. Polg's out with it. Poke check free. Gabsy now. Over to bMaJuH. bMaJuH to Cad now. Cad. Rashad, as that's Reigns. Slid a little bit out of position, but is able to come back and stretch out that glove for the save.
And the Cad's used to scoring those too, Nick. You know, he gets the goaltender sliding over. He does that little fake and lets it rip, but good save there by Reigns.
Reigns has definitely seen that one before. As they, like you said, and like Brandon said, they played on Thursday. So no strangers to love. They know the rules, and so do I. This play continues on here. Grimm offside, 8:12 to go here in the second period. Halfway through this game, is Olympia worrying right now?
I don't know if they're worrying. Olympia is a very, very calm team. Obviously been around for a very, very long time. Have championships under their belt. They have nothing to worry about. It's just play your game until you get one here, Nick.
As it's working for them so far. Just got 1 goal against. Reigns has looked great thus far, except for that. bMaJuH from the corner. Out for Geimer. Geimer. Left circle, spins with it, gives it up to Odie. Odie's got that with the last quarter of the second period upon us here. Fought off from the half boards and scooped up by Geimer. Again, starting the play up. And over to Polgs. Polgs through the middle there. Odie, good shot on. Blocker to side there by Reigns. Polgs getting a little bit shifty and ninja-like there on the defense there, Limer.
I was just going to say, he looks exactly like Cad the way he came in there and did that, but a great blocker save, as that one looked like it could have been a snipe.
That's the hut work going to bat there, as he's able to manipulate the thumbsticks really well. Another shot there, rebound there by bMaJuH. bMaJuH looking for his 3rd goal in a row across 2 games. Going for the natural hat trick in a weird way, I suppose. That wrap
in a
around.
not so natural way, Nick.
Yeah, that's a weird natural way. Overtime and then 2 in the next game.
I like it.
I mean, they did come in a row, technically, right?
Yeah, I'm with it. I can get behind this 110%. I'm with you. I'm with you if you're wrong or right, buddy. You know that.
I appreciate that, Lime. 10 seconds here. Winding down. Puck trickles through the slot area. Out for Desi. Desi's just going to try to kill off this period. And he will do so successfully. So now at the end of 2, no score in the second period, just like we saw in game number 1. It's Reigns making great saves, but his team is down 1-0.
They are down 1-0, Brandon, and we're going to get a winner here at the end of this game. It will be one of these teams, and a winner in the chat as well. Guys, don't forget, exclamation point giveaway to get your hands on a Scuff controller as we jump over to Brandon.
Yeah, we have a few playoff updates here. Isles GT up 2-0 now over Delusions in the 3rd period of their game 2. So they are currently on track to go up 2-0 in their series if they can hold on to that. Also, Monarchs and Instinct and Hidden Potential and Scary Hours both just entered their game 3, so those are both 1-1 series, so best of 3 essentially from that point forward for those 2 sides. But how about the game on our screen? Pretty calm there in that second period, and Olympia gonna hope that the trend from game 1 carries over to game 2. A team up 1-0, scored in the first period, nothing in the second. We saw Prodigy were able to get the equalizer in the 3rd and win in overtime. Olympia hoping to replicate that and tie this series at 1 apiece. Let's see if they can do it.
We're back here in the 3rd period now. Gapsey off the quick faceoff when he brings it into the offensive end. Pushed along the boards. Fought out of it. Here comes Cad. Cad through to bMaJuH. bMaJuH, another shot there. Kicked aside nicely, cleanly, and easily by Reigns. Reigns, a former all-star goalie not too long ago. It's Desi. Now over to Geimer. They got tied up there, so he'll kick it around behind the net and out. Missed on that pass, though. Gave it up to left D as it fell over to Grim. Sent that along. Now back to Grim center point. Switches with Odie. Shot there. Rebound chance. Comes right out to Cad's stick. Cad cuts across. Switches out to the right side. Slap shot in, goes wide. Geimer now. He fires that one on. Pushed along. bMaJuH, smart move there by Cad to hold up the play. bMaJuH almost got a piece of it. Was able to keep it in the zone for a brief moment.
Good back check here by Prodigy. They're making sure they're between the puck and their own goaltender, and that's exactly where they want to be when they're up by 1.
Out of the zone. Forces Olympia to reset. bMaJuH scoops it in. Gabsy keeps it in the zone, though. Flips it on net. Rebound! And that almost fell for Gilly to try to push that into the net. Reject stayed there the entire way. bMaJuH looking to cut across and fire it on. He pulls back, thinks twice of it. Second effort for Polgs, though. Rain stood tall there. Grim to Gabsy. Centering feed, now Grim again. Grim controlling the play really well for his team right now. Trying to get one going, and that's Reject nabbing that shot from Gabsy out of the sky and into his glove.
Reject doing a very good job, but so is Reigns at the other end for Olympia, and it's going to be interesting to see if either of these goalies get beat in the next 10 minutes.
We welcome all of our new viewers, twitch.tv/Capitals. Thanks for being here. It's nice to have you there. Halfway gone through the third period. Time running out here. Grim. Pushed along the boards. Fighting off 3, 4, 5 checkers there as he finally gives that up. Moves it up for Polgs. Polgs now for bMaJuH. They're going to keep this thing down low and work it from behind the net. Now up top, slap shot in, rebound chance. As that's Reigns clearing it along for the defense in Olympia to move it out of the zone. They do so. 6.5 left here in the third. Into the corner. Gilly to McFlurry. Behind the net working. Spinning around once, twice. Desi takes it away. Desi's got it back again as they were fighting for it. Jarring for position. Cad just skates by one checker. And loses the puck coming into the zone. So that's going to be a counterattack here. Gabsy with the rest of Prodigy back. Slap shot comes in. Reject pushes that to his left. Out for Geimer. Geimer now wraps that along. It's going to come to Cad. Gabsy just takes that away as Cad falls and takes a seat there in the penalty box area. As it finds Gilly with 2:45 left here in the third period. Gabsy in front, chance there, denied nicely by the wing trio in Prodigy. The wingers and the centerman going to work there, trying to keep the play away from the danger zones. Mr. Will Robinson would be proud. But here's Grim now sidestepping 1 and 2 defenders. Puck comes all the way out. Cad's there with position. Can he get there? He will. Up around chance. There's the defense, and Odie standing still, taking the puck away. Under a minute to go, real time, 60 seconds to conclude. Period number 3. As things are heating up here. McFlurry. As there's a little bit of sense of urgency now with Olympia to try to get it going. Odie's pass can't connect it in the zone. It comes out. Cad'll take it away. Back skating, and he draws a penalty. A brilliant penalty there, as Prodigy will go on the power play with under 45 seconds to play.
200 IQ play by Cad. I don't know if he was going to take that to the net anyways. He might have pulled an old Jakku and just took it to the corner and waited the timeout. But he turned his back there, Brandon, and drew an amazing penalty.
Yeah, and that's just showing that IQ right there. And something that's really interesting, and it's not often that you would hear this for Olympia, but they're scoreless in their last 4 periods, going on 5 if the score were to hold. You really have to credit Prodigy's defense and goaltending for holding Olympia the way that they have. They have a little bit of time left, but man, oh man, do they have a lot of work to do being down a man with just a little bit of time to go.
Face off here, 1 back. Odie sends it along in a hurry. 20 seconds here. Good outstretched stick. That's Geimer keeping it away. McFlurry now. They're just going to try to force it to the middle, I think. As Cad gets it up to bMaJuH. bMaJuH has a step. No. Good way to get back there by Gilly, but he'll wrap it around for Cad. Cad, 10 seconds left. Behind the net. Sends it in down low. Good move here. Smart moves. Wrap around. Chance they score. And it's bMaJuH with the natural hat trick, making this one 2-0 and getting his third goal in a row from the overtime to now.
Well, we might be calling this the bMaJuH because I don't know if I've ever seen a natural hat trick done between two games. You know, great stuff here by Prodigy nonetheless. You don't want to take away from them. It was a great team game, Nick, and they've got themselves a W here in game 2.
Big W as Prodigy takes game 2, 2-0, and takes the series to 2-0. They have 3 chances now to win this game and win this series and move on to the semifinals, and Reject gets his shutout for the playoffs.
Yeah, great game by Reject and by Prodigy all around. You know, these guys come out, they take 2 L's against Olympia earlier in the week, and they came out strong here, Brandon, and they are not going to be taking any L's with Reject standing there at the front leading the charge.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we were talking about there in the last 40 seconds is how good the defense and goaltending was for Prodigy, not just in this game, but in game 1 as well. I mean, you have to give a lot of credit to Geimer and Desi in front. A great goalie can obviously be great, but they can only do so much without really good defense in front of them. Prodigy has provided that to him, and any chances that Reject has seen, he has been all top of it, rejecting everything just about that has come his way. That's his second shutout of the playoffs. He had 2 in the regular season as well, so that's 4 in total. Not something he's unused to, but nevertheless a great result for Prodigy, and wow, 2-0 lead. I think everyone's kind of surprised. We knew Prodigy was a good team, but I think most people expected this to be a split through the first 2 games, especially considering Olympia being the defending champions, playing the way they were, and actually having recent success against Prodigy just a few days ago. So it really goes to show you how good of a Prodigy team that this is and the level that they can play at when they're clicking on cylinders.
Yeah, that is for sure, Brandon, and a great game done by both wingers, as it was bMaJuH who was scoring, but it takes a team to lead a charge.
Yeah, and I think that's the perfect way to put that, because a lot of times it's interesting. Polgs and Cad can get a lot of the attention for Prodigy because they do have the higher points numbers in the regular season. Cad had 33 points, Polgs had 35, bMaJuH had just 22. So, I mean, that's about a 12 to 13 point difference between those two, and that's what's so tough to play against when you play a team like Prodigy, like Olympia, like Instinct, these top teams that are just star-studded across the board. It's really difficult to bring that direct attention to 1 or 2 players, because when you latched off on one other guy, it gives them that opportunity to really flourish. And now you see bMaJuH, not only did he get the game winner in the overtime, but he got both goals in this game, the natural hat trick as Nick referred it to. So it's one of those things.
We'll call it.
Really has showed his stuff here in these first 2 games, and there's a big reason that they find themselves with a 2-0 series lead.
Zippity doo dah, zippity day. We've got 2 gaming chairs to give away, as we want to remind you that a friendly reminder to visit Caps Gaming Twitter at Caps Gaming to enter for a chance to win a new gaming chair courtesy of Zip Chair Gaming. We still have 2 chairs left to give away, so stay tuned on Twitter as we progress through the Caps Gaming Showcase to see if you could be one of the lucky winners. The next winner will be announced this upcoming Wednesday on the Caps Gaming Twitter, and that is at Caps Gaming. And oh well, we've got something that might be able to be in somebody's hands here in the chat, don't we, bMaJuH?
We do. Now it is time to announce our Scuff Gaming controller giveaway winner for tonight. And interesting enough, remember, we're going to be giving away 2 more of these next week. We're giving away 1, and we're giving away 1 for the finals as well. So we're going to announce our winner here for the Scuff Gaming giveaway for tonight, right here in just a few moments.
Yeah, exactly, bMaJuH, and we are going to be handing out that controller. As there it is, the winner is G Kane 20. Be sure to DM the Caps Gaming Twitter at Caps Gaming to claim your prize.
Yeah, that is a beautiful prize to have. It's always fun when you can watch some really good hockey on your screen, but just that little extra incentive when you can win a nice Scuff Gaming controller. And many props to the guys at Caps Gaming as well as Scuff Gaming for providing us the opportunity to give away a few nice prizes to some of our viewers here in the next few weeks. But I think Prodigy, they'll take the 2 prizes that they got tonight in 2 wins in games 1 and games 2. Now the question, can they go ahead and finish the job now, Teague? And they have 3 chances to do so. It's a pretty favorable position to be in, but you never want to doubt Olympia in any situation, no matter how down they are.
You definitely don't, Brandon. So if it's going to be back against the wall, Olympia, who are we going to be looking to carry the load?
I think a lot of it is going to come down to that forward trio. And we mentioned it, 5 periods straight now for Olympia that are scoreless. And you have to credit Prodigy. They've been great defensively. Reject has had a few really key saves, but Gabze, McFlurry, and Gilly especially, who's really the bona fide goal scorer, especially on that team, they've been held pretty in check through 2 games. So gonna expect them to really play with a lot of urgency and maybe get a little bit more aggressive in this game 3 than maybe you saw from them previously in the first 120 minutes.
Right, so game number 3, Prodigy leading the charge at the Caps Gaming Showcase 2-0 as we will jump down to ice level with Nick DeMeo.
And if my coach would have told me that we'd be here when we were here, I wouldn't have believed him, because right now Prodigy here with a 2-0 lead as they look to close the door in 3 games on a best of 5. Playoffs underway here. Twitch.tv/Capitals. Opening draw, game number 3. Icing the call, 19:03, so 57 seconds gone so far. As the faceoff comes all the way into Olympia's defensive end. Face off to the left of Reigns. One back to Geimer. Real quick pass there off the post and out of play. Oh my goodness, Cat had everything on it.
Well, when we started the first 2 games, it was a little bit of step back and feel each other out. It looks like Prodigy is coming out swinging right now, Nick.
They clapped one on. It went out of play. Off the post. As Grimm looks to command this thing down the line. He will do so, but gave it up in the neutral zone. Couple of stick lifts there. That was a nice play defensively by Prodigy. In these blue-on-blues again. Wrist shot there. Blocker to side. Off the post. Second effort. And that's Reigns standing tall again. The post helping him out 2 times in a row. McFlurry to Gabsy. Shot on. Loose shot there. Dangerous one, though. As Reject barely got there to kick out the toe. That's a wrist shot from downtown. Oh, my goodness. Pogs.
Wow, Pogs with the fadeaway from just inside the blue line, and Prodigy is off to a hot start. The crown is on, the boys are sailing, and Prodigy is on the board.
I've not seen a center point wrist shot rip like that in a very long time. Fade away like Rondo, as Brandon said in chat. Absolutely here. As Prodigy takes the game 3 lead early on in the first period. Looking to pour this on now. Sometimes you have to embody the name you pick here. And if you're Pogs, he's absolutely doing that. What a beauty of a shot. Might have been the best shot of the game there, as there's a one-touch in from Gabsy there to tie it. It's 1-1 from the hash marks. And Gabsy said, like Mutombo, no, 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 not in my house. They tie this one up at 1.
No, 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 not today. Gabze gets Olympia on the board, Nick, and that breaks the 5 non-scoring goals. And it is the same guy with the gorgeous hair in the top right-hand corner of your screen getting his 11th
Look
of
at the
playoffs.
The flow of Gabsy.
Love it.
Love to see it. As we got a tie game here. What a quick answer from Olympia, as they said, we're down, but we are not out. We will not go quietly into that good night. Shout out to the Abe Lincoln poem there. Her shot there goes wide, hits the glass. as my historical rap and wrestling references know no bounds here on twitch.tv/capitals. Cad with the spin around shot. Good chance. Reigns keeping that away from the mouth of the goal. Gabse in over the line, but offside. 9:41 to play here in the first period.
That's a fantastic answer. Is Olympia really on the ropes in this hockey game, and they, instead of getting down on each other and kind of going back into their own attack and getting out of play, they just stick to their game and get a quick answer, and we've got ourselves a 1-1 game here with 9 minutes to go in the first period.
Especially considering they were scoreless through almost 5.5 periods. You kind of get that monkey on your back going, hey, I don't know. You get mad at each other. That did not occur clearly with Olympia here as they got one back by doing what they know how to do, and it worked. Now we're tied back up at 1. Behind the net, passed along. Gabse, toe dragging, nice move around the defense, but couldn't get that second move on to beat the second defender. Great move there by Gabse, though, as he's feeling it right now. Kids might say he's cracked. It's Cad, left trigger sidestepping, trying to get around the defense on his side. Cuts to the middle. Gabse takes it away. Lost it for a second, but got it out to McFlurry. They're going to need some Mario-level flower power here in this Game 3 to go to Game 4. They've got to win 3 in a row. Can they do it? Gilly, left circle, up top left point. That pass comes back out, and that's what we saw in period number 3. They try to get it over to Grimm. That time he gets it in himself, flips it up along the glass in a really nice way. So he had that down low in the corner. I haven't seen that kind of flip in before. Limer, have you?
Yeah, the high off the glass, it gets a kind of tricky bounce. If that D-man is holding up on you, it allows the puck to bounce and your player to pick it up.
They go offside here, shot on anyway. That was a nice little flip in. It kind of trickled up on the glass, and Grimm had a good chance there to set up something down low.
Yeah, the only thing nicer than that little flip in is Brandon's playoff update, so we will get you right in the next whistle.
Always look forward to those. Thank you, Dudley Do-Right, as well, for working behind the scenes diligently to help us stay informed of what's going on outside of this featured matchup. Final 10 seconds here, real time to conclude the period. Odie, slap shot in, rebound, chance, scores! Gabse with 2 in a row makes this 2-1 in the closing seconds of period number 1 in Game 3.
Gabse again coming in with a fantastic goal there, Nick, and he's been really holding it down here. He's almost the boosh of Prodigy, so to speak, as that's the only guys that have been putting the puck in the back of the net so far, other than Polgs on the one this game. But a great late goal is going to take them to the intermission with a lead.
As I have a feeling this game is going to open up just a little bit here. 3 goals in the first period, 2 of them by Gabse. He's got 3 on the series, and he leads, along with Olympia, 2-1 at the end of 1.
2-1 at the end of 1. Let's pop over to Brandon and see what he thinks of this game so far.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned it perfectly, Tegan. Things really opening up, and we said it before this game started. You know Olympia is going to come out with a lot of urgency, and they're going to throw everything at Prodigy that they possibly can. It's not a matter of just winning 1 game. They have to win 3 in a row, so they know the job that has to be done, and what better way to do it than to not just come back from down 1-0 in this game, but to do so in style and to get 2 in a row and to really get some momentum generating for yourselves after you weren't able to score for about 4.5 to 5 periods before that first goal in this Game 3. So a nice job from Olympia, but we have a few playoff updates really quick as well. Delusions and Isles GT in their Game 3 tied at 1 apiece. Monarchs and Instincts tied at 0-0 in the third period of Game 3, and Hidden Potential and Scary Hours 3-1 for Scary Hours in Game 3. That game just ended with Scary Hours taking the win.
Scary Hours leading that one 2-1 in the series right now. Prodigy up 2 games to nothing. They're down 2-1 in the game, though, as they look to respond here to 2 goals by Gabse to give them that 2-1 lead. Cad now with a wrist shot that goes wide. He tried to pull one like Polgs did. 1-on-1 here from Gilly. Geimer just strips him of the puck. Beautiful defensive play by Geimer there, 1-on-1 against a high-scoring left wing or right winger in Gilly. as we move along here. So we might have a lag out. We got a stoppage here, but we'll see if it comes back. We'll wait to go to the studio. Yeah, we'll come over to the studio with myself and Lime, as just wanted to make sure something froze up there. So we'll have to come back to that as we have a flip in. I'll keep you informed. But yeah, 2-1 your scoreline right now. Olympia over Prodigy.
Yeah, 2-1, and good job by Olympia to kind of drive themselves back into the driver's seat here as they have their backs against the walls. They have to get a win here, Nick, and it is crucial. If they don't, the defending champs are going to be off to the races and out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. As we look at the matchup here, Olympia versus Prodigy, and we'll bring in bMaJuH here to talk a little bit more about playoff implications, as we'll get you an update as this takes place on the ice. We'll look to get you back to the action shortly.
Yeah, guys, everybody, we will be back to the action between these two amazing teams very, very shortly. As bMaJuH, what did you think about what we saw in those first two periods from Olympia?
Yeah, I think just a great response there from Olympia, and what to me really stands out is Prodigy, they were able to get that first goal of the game, and a lot of times when you had that kind of a lull between those 5 periods, as we mentioned, and then the shutout in Game 2, where Prodigy really did a good job of locking things in, not letting Olympia get a lot going, to be able to respond in that matter after Prodigy was able to get that first goal, so huge, and that's just a testament to what they are as a team. They've had plenty of situations where they've been down and been able to come back before. They're not unused to this. They've been in these situations. They're an experienced team. They've seen just about everything and have experienced just about everything when it comes to NHL esports, and that just kind of goes to show that they come back, do a great job, as it looks like we have action on our screen again, ladies and gentlemen, and look, a change in the scoreline as well.
Prodigy tying this up during that little glitch we had. We're back with the action, though. We appreciate your patience, as the screen may have changed here. Olympia is going north on your screen now. Tie game 2-2. As play moves along, we are halfway through the game. We are tied at 2 in game number 3. Prodigy now going south on your screen. There's Cad with the takeaway. Now over to Pogues. Lays it up for Desi. Desi, slap shot on, tipped and brought down nicely by McFlurry. As that's going to be Gilly that tried to move that along. He's poke checked free. And that's sent up now. Here comes Odie and Grim. They like to move this puck well. Up around chance, and that was a good move, but Reject stands tall.
Yeah, great saves there by Reject. We get a little bit of a switch here, Nick, as we are watching from the Olympia side. We want to remind you that as they are in the yellow jerseys, Prodigy in blue.
As we continue on here, 5.5 left in the second period. Kicked up over to Geimer. Booch now over the blue line. We'll probably get you back to our regularly scheduled feed in just a moment. Geimer steps over the line, goes offside here.
Yeah, step offside. 2-2 hockey game. We missed Prodigy coming back and tying this up, and we are in for a very exciting third period of hockey here, Nick, if this stays 2-2. We got a face-off here in the neutral zone. It is going to be McFlurry going against bMaJuH as they are head-to-head. But it looks like we've actually had this stream now get caught up and freeze as well. So give us one moment here, guys. That is still 2-2 as we get some back-and-forth fun here, Brandon.
We do, and actually, we do have a quick update, actually, interestingly enough, for this game. Olympia just scored. McFlurry put the puck in the net for them just a moment ago, right before we had that unfortunate freeze. So Olympia now back up 3-2, as you can see on your screen right there.
So there it is, Nick. 3-2 is just as I jinxed Prodigy. They're going to be going the other way. As here comes Cad. Cad, right hand side across. And that one doesn't connect either. Rip. Behind the net for Olympia. He sends that one up the boards. Gabs breaks out. He's forced out by Cad. And Desi picks it up in the neutral zone. Desi still holding on. Slides that one through back door. Polgs tries. And Reigns with a great save.
Reigns looking great right now. As we want to appreciate your patience, twitch.tv/capitals. As Odie gets that face-off win back to him. Olympia able to get ahead there. Couple of lead changes. As Prodigy tried to tie it, did so. And Olympia took it back. So 2 goals scored here in the second period. We go over to the third. 3-2 Olympia as they have their season on the line with 20 minutes to go.
Well, we were up, we were down, we were all around. I was comfy because I was in a zip chair, but Brandon, that was a little bit of a wonky way to get here, but it's 3-2 for Olympia.
Maybe a little wonky, but it's that we're here that matters. And Olympia, pretty happy where they're sitting, whether it be in a zip chair or not, happy with a 3-2 lead that they have going into this third period. And maybe not the shot differential that you would maybe expect from Olympia in terms of the way that this game has gone. Obviously, we're not totally sure on the way that those goals went in, but you gotta like where you're sitting. You're up 3-2. You can't get this 2-0 deficit back in one game, so you just have to take it a period at a time, a possession at a time. And in this game, Olympia doing a good job each and every period, just winning each period, doing what they can to try to get themselves back in striking distance in this series, down 2-0. They can win this one. Look out.
Polgs and his team looking to take the lead back and put Olympia down in 3 games as defending champions. Can they do so, or will Olympia force a game 4? Remember, they have to win 3 in a row in this best of 5. See what they can do here. Gabze over the middle, cut in front. That was stolen. He tried to establish himself in the offensive end. Over to Polks, backhand chance. Saved by Reigns. Over to Gilly. Gilly gets crushed along the boards. bMaJuH will pick it up now. Over to Cad. Cad, bMaJuH, shot in, and that's a good chance. Great save there by Reigns. Desi doused off that puck. bMaJuH recovered in the slot area. Wrist shot on. And that was off, almost like it animated right to Cad's stick, and he pulled the trigger as it came right to him on a one-touch.
Yeah, it's a good pass there by bMaJuH and a great shot by Cad, but Reigns, how about the IQ by him to stay on that short side of the net and assume that puck's coming to Cad? Great job by him. He's got to be good for Olympia.
Desi with a shot off the iron. He's firing now from the point. Looking for another one maybe. That one's Odie just going to take it away. Slap shot, can't get it out of the zone. It finally trickles out, fell to Gilly. Geimer and bMaJuH will come back in. They'll lose it just as quickly as they got it in there, and Grim just skates along and just beat out 2 Prodigy players. Now Gapsy in down low. Outstretched stick by Desi. Breaks that play up. And 8 minutes gone so far here in the third period. Flipped in with room for Polgs. Going back to what they did in game number 1. No penalty there off the strip. I thought that would have been a penalty for sure, but play continues.
Surprising for sure. Polgs hit to the ice, didn't have the puck, but here he goes into the zone.
Polgs again, left side, kicked along. Out for Cad. Cad now. Desi, shot wide. Polgs wrap around, no, bMaJuH instead, kicked it along again. Geimer off the boards. Now to Desi. Desi skates in. Gets that one poked away. And Odie will finally relieve the pressure. bMaJuH now. Lays it back for Desi. He'll come across with speed. Slows it down, tries to feed it to his forwards. Can't get there. They'll fight for it from the corner. Out with it, Cad. Cad forcing the issue now. 7.5 to go here in the third period. Cad's got it again. Cad, shot there, goes up and hits Reigns in the mask. Reigns looking to block this one. He does. Shot in from Polgs, and we will get a whistle.
Watch for the urgency here from Prodigy, but we have a few updates from around the league with Brandon.
We do. Olympia, not the only team trying to keep their season going. Delusions down 2-0 in their series versus Isles GT. They tied that game up in game 3, 3-3 in the second period. Instinct, by the way, won that game 3 versus Monarchs 1-0. So they are now up 2-1 in their series. And the game 4 between Scary Hours and Hidden Potential just started. Remember, Scary Hours up 2-1 in that series. Can clinch it with one more victory.
We got Olympia here fighting for their season right now, and they're shot at $20,000. We welcome in all of our first-time viewers. Cad from around the net. Gets that one over. Good move to bMaJuH, but he couldn't pull the trigger. Misfired on it. Short side chance, trying to stuff it. And that's Cad getting denied once more. 3-on-2. Now there's bMaJuH back there to help out. Gabsy. Pushed off the puck. Stolen by Desi. 3.5 left here. Cad. Spinning. Right corner. Drops it over to Desi. Desi up top now. Skates in. Thinks better of it. Stops and goes. Low angle shot there. Looking for the rebound. Cad. On his stick. Shoots one in. Kneeled down there. And I think that was McFlurry who was in the shot lane as we got an icing here. 1:28 left in the third.
What a block there that was. Just get down on one knee and pray, Nick, because that's all it was. Huge block. Puck goes to the corner, and Prodigy's got only a minute left to score.
My good disco friend once said, get down on it. Here comes Gilly, though. Wrap around for Gabsy along the boards. Back over to Gilly. Under a minute to play here. Slap shot in. Rebound chance over to Desi. They've got to move now. 43 seconds. Over the blue line. Cad, right side. Cad now shot in there. He scores! Cad ties this up at 3 with 34 seconds left on the clock in regulation.
What a move by Cad as he skates himself into the slot there, Brandon, and he puts that one bar down.
Oh, wow, what a goal from Cad at a clutch moment, nevertheless, as well. He had 24 goals in the regular season. That led this team. It was double the amount of the next highest goal scorer on Prodigy, which was Pokes with 12. And you saw why right there. A big moment and a big goal. And just like that, Prodigy right back in it and a chance to maybe take this thing into another overtime.
I believe a coach once told Tegan, if they knew what would have happened, they could have started here.
That's exactly right, Nick. If we knew this was going to be the score, we could have started here, baby. As Cad comes in, rips another one.
Cad is feeling it right now. 20 seconds to go, though. We're not done. Cad with the takeaway. Bank pass over to bMaJuH with speed now, trying to get around Grim. He will. Around for Pogues. Pogues up for Geimer. Geimer peels off. Gets that one chucked away by Gilly. Grim will try to relieve pressure and does. 5 seconds here. Banked off the boards. Desi, one last chance. No, thought better of that one. He'll go to the boards, and we are going to overtime.
There's nothing like extra hockey, Brando. We saw it in game 1 where Prodigy came out victorious. Who's it gonna be in game 2?
And boy, have we not seen this before. Almost deja vu-esque. In game 1, Olympia up by a goal with about 5 minutes to go or less. Prodigy found a way to tie it, and then we saw bMaJuH score the game winner in overtime. And yet again, in game 3, we see it once again. This has been just such a back and forth game, and I feel good about Olympia's chances because it feels like whenever Prodigy has found a way to score, Olympia has found a way to coordinate a response. Now you have to do it not just in an overtime, but in a situation where your season is on the line. If Prodigy scores a goal, your season is over. The crown is off of your heads, and there will be a new team on the Caps Gaming Showcase thrown in the NA. Will Olympia keep their season going, or will Prodigy advance? Can't wait to hear you guys call it.
Face off in overtime here. Pogues quickly trying to get this in the zone. They are not wasting any time as they threw that in, but I couldn't find anybody on the other side. Offside here. Minute 5 gone. Brandon, back to you for an update over with the Isles GT.
Isles GT trying to clinch that series. They win 4-3 over Delusion. So our first team clinching a spot to the semifinals is ILSGT. Scary Hours up 2-0 in their game 4, trying to do the same thing.
Gabsy get that puck poked away from him. Grim has to go back and get it. He will. Prodigy working at the puck now, trying to move it up the ice. And here they come. That one's stolen at the blue line. Turnover there. Chipped in, going to be icing. If they touch it, they will. 3 gone so far in the overtime period.
Yeah, you got to be careful here. Prodigy very good. They have a bag of tricks in the offensive zone. Watch out.
Faced off to the left of Reigns. One back by Olympia. Chipped in, 2 men back there from Olympia to go get it. Poke check doesn't work, but Desi will come out with it. No penalties so far in game number 3 on either side. As that one's flipped up and into the zone. Flipped off a stick. Cad's got it from behind the net now. Nice pass over to Desi. Desi gets accosted by 2 players. Has to come all the way back out of the zone.
Why not, right? You want to slow play this as much as possible. It only takes 1 shot to end this game.
I believe there's a Mighty Ducks reference about that. It takes less than a second to change the game. That's flipped in. 2 men there again. That's Gabsy and McFlurry. That bounced over both of those gentlemen. As McFlurry picks it up, they're offside though. Got a little bit too ahead of that play, and it'll come back out to the neutral zone.
Yeah, we're going to face off here just in the neutral zone. Is a little bit of offside on either side there. So we'll see what we can do. We got 12 minutes to go here in the overtime period.
Overtime 1. Prodigy 1 and OT 1 in game number 1 by a scoreline of 2-1. Lots of ones.
Yeah, that is a lot of ones. Easy there.
Can confirm. No mathematician, but I can confirm. Grim now. 9 gone in the overtime period. Stolen there by Geimer. Way to get in that passing lane. Take that one away. Pogues now goes in deep. Throws it in front. And that almost found bMaJuH waiting there at the far side. Cat will take it back in with speed. Stopped up from a poke check. Fed one in. Try to find Pogues. And for CAD right now, they got to slow things down and not force that issue. Time is on their side. Next goal will win this.
You might as well be slow, as here's a methodical dump in, but Grim's going to pick that up for Olympia and head out.
The bounces from these dump-ins are not favoring the team that's dumping it in right now, even if they get behind the defense.
Right, yeah, it's looking like there might be a lane, but then there's trap, and it's just very, very tough as they get one there, but then Gabsy's there to pick it off. So, you know, it's going to be the first mistake that wins this hockey game.
And these teams know how to capitalize on those mistakes for sure. That one's fought out of the corner by Odie. Can't let Odie rip those slap shots in. Can't let Gilly try to find Gabsy on that pass. He almost did. Grim. Down low. In front to Geimer's stick. Geimer stops behind his net. Takes a breath because my heart rate jumped through the roof for a brief moment. As he'll come back out to his end.
I was going to say, it's a good thing these zip chairs are meshed together so well, or else mine would be broken at this point with 4 minutes to go in this overtime period. This is amazing hockey.
Absolutely amazing hockey. Visit Caps Gaming on Twitter and enter the Zip Chair giveaway for your chance to win your very own Zip Chair gaming chair. I once sung about it on a YouTube video. Now cap, as my friends say. My kids say that, not my friends. Anyway, play continues. Gilly to Gabsy, up top Odie. Down for Gilly. Gilly throws it in. That's a good way for Desi to step in that passing lane and break up that one-time chance over to Gabsy. Pogues with speed. Got him past the defense. Here comes Geimer. Shot in. Saved by Reigns.
What a save, as I thought that was it, Nick. I thought that was the game-ending goal there, but Reigns shuts the door.
Reigns shut that down. Geimer has to bring it out of the zone. Couldn't keep it in. Time winding down here in the overtime period number 1. We will have a winner. Odie brings it around from behind his net and out through center. Grim to Gilly. And Geimer just so methodical about how he controls the play from his end. You have to respect that with the nerves on the line here. Pogues. Look to drive in. Thought better. Desi in for bMaJuH. Now to CAD. CAD fought off by Gabsy. In for Cad once more, trying to look for bMaJuH there. Shot goes wide. Just up high over the glove. That one there, somehow, Reigns got a piece of it. He comes out of his net, and he'll hang on.
So I don't know about you, Nick, but I got a feeling right now that there's two people that are pretty due, and it's going to be bMaJuH and it's going to be Gabsay, as they have not found the back of the net in some time.
They've been quiet so far through most of this game here. We'll see what happens with under a minute to go. Up for Desi now. Shot there. Reigns with another beauty of a save.
As that was so close. Unbelievable stuff there, as we'll get an offensive zone face-off here for Prodigy.
One there, set play, trying to get it back to bMaJuH, who won the face-off. McFlurry now. Forced that in. Dumped it deep. Out and around for Geimer. Odie will scoop it and retrieve it from his end. Under 20 seconds to go here in the overtime period. McFlurry now, shot, rebound to the left side for a reject. He's able to make that save. Final 10 seconds. There's another slap shot in. That one's blocked. That one was blocked by bMaJuH. Third chance maybe. Time winding down. Gabsay. Odie with a shot at the buzzer. Came into the slot. Ripped one. Reject makes the save. And we're still tied at 3 at the end of OT1.
OT number 1 all wrapped up and finished. And we're going to head into OT period number 2, Brandon. 3-3.
That is the type of playoff hockey, the playoff overtime hockey that you come to expect when two teams like this meet up with so much on the line. Olympia with a few chances there for about a 5-minute stretch. We saw Prodigy with a flurry of chances there in the middle of that overtime period. And something that you have to keep in mind, obviously, a lot of the pressure on Olympia being in overtime down to nothing in the series, but I think you could argue that there is just as much pressure on Prodigy. If you get one goal, you win. The series is over. If Olympia scores, you have to play them another game, and they're a team plenty capable of winning 2 games in a row. So you know Prodigy just as urgent and chopping at the bit to win this game just as much as as Olympia is.
Overtime number 2, game number 3. Bonus hockey afoot. As the next mistake or the next offensive flurry, no pun intended, will win it. Cad stopped up at the blue line. He'll lose it. Still no penalties through this game number 3. A very different game than what we saw in game 1 and 2.
Things have slowed down a little bit here as we get our first offside. 17.5 to go, but you're right, Nick. It's just become more of a slow game where it's going to just be a mistake that turns things over as this overtime period number 2 carries on.
You got to wonder what team that benefits more, if it's Prodigy or Olympia. Dumped in. That was Polk's trying to go get it. He'll cream Grim behind the net anyway. No penalty. Play moves on. Gabsay. Down for McFlurry. Over for Gilly. Cycling on now. They're moving the puck well. There's a shot in from Gabsay. And reject right there at the top of the paint. Makes that save.
And a very good save at that. You know, he's out. He's playing the angle strong. He knows that shot's coming. He swallows it up and trusts his center bMaJuH to win the draw.
Gilly trying to move that one in. He's got it back on his stick, spinning around. Chance there, McFlurry. Off the rebound, shoots, he scores! Gilly forces this one to the next game, and they win game 3. Their season's still alive.
They keep the game alive is Gilly with the overtime heroics, but what a pass by McFlurry to open that up instead of being selfish and taking that shot, Brandon.
Yeah, that is a 200 IQ play at a critical point in the game. And Gilly, a guy that maybe a little quiet so far in the series, he's a bona fide goal scorer with But what better time to get your first goal of the series with your team counting and depending on you, down 2-0 in the series, in double overtime, getting that goal on what was really just a beautiful feed there from his fellow teammate. And how big of a win is that there for Olympia? That was probably about as close as they could have gotten to having their season on the line, and now they extend their season one more game. I know you used this reference a little earlier, Lion, but the Olympia torch, a little bit of flame left, at least for the time being.
Yeah, no, they definitely have a little bit of fire left in that flame as they need to win 2 games here, Brandon. And they're going to have to claw their way through Prodigy to get there. And Prodigy playing very well. Very good late game heroics to come back and force overtime. And I think they're very calm and cool going into game number 4.
Yeah, I think that's the benefit of having that 2-0 series lead. You drop game 3, that's okay. Things happen. You're going to drop a game. You expect to drop at least 1 or 2 games when you're playing a team like Olympia in the opposition. But now you get a chance. That game's behind. You can't think about that too much. You still have a job to do and another chance to do it here in game 4. And you still have that advantage of having that series lead. Now, if you drop this game, maybe you grip the Scuff gaming controller a little tighter than what you normally would, but if you're Prodigy, still feeling calm, cool, and collected, still everything ahead of you, while Olympia, you feel a lot better getting that game under your belt, coming back to win, taking that hope a little bit away from Prodigy to end your season early and extending it just at least 3 more periods. So we'll see if they can do it here, but gotta feel good for both teams here, both teams with reasons for optimism going into game 4 to say the least.
Nothing like reasons for optimism. If you head over to at Caps Gaming, you can be optimistic about possibly winning one of 2 gaming chairs that are left. So head over to enter for a chance to win a new gaming chair courtesy of Zip Chair Gaming. That's right, I said it earlier. We have 2 chairs left to give away. So stay tuned on Twitter as we progress through the Caps Gaming Showcase to see if you could be one of our lucky winners. The next winner will be announced this upcoming Wednesday on the Caps Gaming Twitter. I want to remind you that is at Caps Gaming. As we pop back in and just great stuff here, Brandon, as we go through Prodigy and Olympia one more time.
Yeah, and now it's game 4. You're feeling a little better if you're Olympia. Prodigy, like we said, still calm, cool, and collected, have everything in front of you, but this is the game where I'm really going to be interested to see how things go. Now that Olympia has that game under their belt and Prodigy still being in the same position that they were entering this game 3, it's going to be interesting to see the aggression level and how urgent these 2 teams are going to play. You would assume Olympia is still going to play with that same sense of urgency. Obviously, you're still down in the series. 1 more win for Prodigy ends your season, but it's going to be fun to see the way that this game flows, because now Prodigy, they do have those 2 games, but Olympia able to come back and steal one. They did in double overtime, especially when you just played about a period and a half, almost 2 periods of really slow, trap-based, mistake-free hockey. So it's going to be interesting. Did that carry over here in this next game, or do we go back to that kind of free-flowing play where there's just action all over the place early? It's going to be really fun to watch and see how that develops here. And what is a game 4 that's critical for both sides?
Yeah, exactly right, Brandon. And both of these games going to overtime, game 1 and game 3, where Prodigy came out with a 2-0 win in game 2. Do you expect game 4 to be similar to game 1 and game 3, or is it going to be next to game 2, where one of these teams is going to come out and really put their foot down?
With the way these 2 goaltenders are playing, I think we're going to see another close game. I think for Olympia, it's so big to have a goalie like Reigns that has been behind you for so long. He's been the staple goaltender for a long time for this Olympia team, so he's been through it all with them, through the losses and through the victories, so he knows what this is like with the rest of that team. So there's a really extra comfort level that you have knowing you have a goalie of the caliber of Reigns that's really familiar with you back there, playing the way that he has been, especially there through that 3rd period, the 2 overtimes. And then on the other end, how about Reject making a lot of big saves in his own right? He was 6-0 in the regular season for a reason at around an 85 save percentage. These are 2 of the better goalies in all of NHL esports, especially on the North American side of things. So as long as those 2 goalies are in net and these defenses are playing the way that they have been in front of them, I expect a lot of close games between these 2. And maybe one, maybe two, we'll see which, but now we do it all over again, Lion. Game 4, same situation. If Prodigy wins, they clinch the series and move on to the semis. If Olympia wins, they extend their season out another game and try to complete what would be an ultimate comeback for them, to say the least.
Would it ever be an ultimate comeback, Brandon? Are you saying there's a chance, Brandon? As we say all the time, is there might just be that. Game number 4, Prodigy versus Olympia. Who is the hero on either side, Brandon?
I think for Olympia, it's got to be the man that scored the game winner in Gilly. He was surprisingly quiet up until that overtime winning goal there in that game, and that's not very like him. You have to give a lot of credit to Prodigy, especially on the left side with Pogues and Geimer, who are on that side of Gilly. Gilly's a guy that is hard to keep scoreless. That was his first goal all series right there in that overtime. I expect to see a lot more of him with him getting that first goal in, and it's hard to not mention bMaJuH for Prodigy, right? The way he has played both offensively and defensively in this series, he has had his fingerprints all over the series. Expect him to do a lot more of that in a game that could clinch the series and move Prodigy on to the semifinals.
Prodigy up 2-1. It is now game 4. Can Prodigy pull this off on the road in game 4? We'll find out in just a moment here with the first shot in from Gilly, but Reject able to be there. And this is going to be an interesting game here. I think this game decides who wins the series.
Yeah, no, I would say that 100% is watch for Olympia to absolutely pour it on here in this game 4.
Maybe some desperation might be starting to trickle in. Maybe that comes out in some heroics. We'll have to see how that shakes out over the next 60 in-game minutes here on twitch.tv/Capitals and the Caps Gaming Showcase. Gilly with a spin move. Showcase presented to you by Leidos and powered by Leaguegaming and our Leaguegaming dynamic stats system. The top, left, and right of your screen. Pogues in with speed now. Trying to feed that one over to Cad. He'll be denied. Got to be lugged along and flipped in by Grim. Offside again as the speed flip in is what they're trying to accomplish, but they've been offside about 6 times now because of that.
Yeah, it's been a problem last game too, hasn't it, Nick? Is where the dump-ins weren't really connecting with the team who was chasing it.
Seemed to work for them at least at the end when they won that in double overtime as we have our first penalty of the game. No penalties in game number 3. A power play now for Prodigy as we go over to Brandon for a playoff update quickly.
Yeah, another overtime. Scary Hours and Hidden Potential tied at 2 in game 4 in overtime. Scary Hours tried to win that series.
That slap shotted around. It'll come all the way down, and nobody gave that chase there. I thought that was going to be a clapped Omaha, Tegan, but nevertheless, Odie with a steal, though. Good interception. Backhand, forehand, he scores. Odie shorthanded, takes out that passing lane, and just hustles down the ice, beats out the flying poke check, and it's 1-0 for Olympia.
Great job by Odie. The shoes he fills, like we talked about before the game, but that is just 300 IQ as he jumps up. He knows that pass is coming. He's seen it already in the past 3 games, and that is one of the best reads we've seen all day.
Oh my goodness. It's not the flashiest play, but I will say that's the best goal I've seen in this Caps Gaming Showcase for the heads-up awareness you have to make that play.
Yeah, you got to be a smart hockey player, and you got to be able to read the play, Nick, and I think that's what separates the great from the amazing.
Definitely Odie's in the elite amazing category there as that's forced in front. And now Prodigy down early on a shorthanded goal. That could be a momentum crusher if they don't get this one reeled back in as the teams are full strength now. Prodigy's got to be reeling after that one. Cad fires one in, hits off a player, and out of play, we'll get a face-off.
It's got to be demoralizing for Prodigy, but you got to be that team that just stays above and beyond and is better, and just keep your head down and definitely grind yourself into getting that comeback goal.
As Grim moves us out of the zone, that was Olympia's first shorthanded goal all season, including the regular season, and it came at the most crucial time of their playoff hopes and their season on the line.
Yeah, did it ever, Nick? And now they really, really just have to pour it on to Prodigy to try and answer here, as they haven't been able to yet.
As the tables, as Michael Scott would say, oh, how the turntables have turned. Grim moves it along behind his net. Gets tied up with Odie. They'll slow it down and come out. Now Odie got tied up with Gabsy. Got to get back in sync. They will. Odie with a step on again. Backhand chance. And Odie just making it happen said, our season is not over. I'm going to make sure of it.
Yeah, that was a jump out by Reject as he jumped right out of the way there. Odie couldn't find the mesh.
Odie is playing lights out right now. He's feeling it as they move on here. Got to give the save up to Reject, too, for making that save. But, man, Odie's just awareness right now is on another playing level.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's great stuff to see from Odie as he's just putting Olympia on his back right now and scoring that huge goal. Had another offensive chance. We'll see what we get from him from the rest of the game. He's someone to watch right now.
Watch what he does all game for sure. So we're under 5 minutes left here in the first period. Down by 1 is Prodigy. Odie's got it again. Lugged that along through center. Out for Gilly. Grim will start back again. That one's flipped in. Desi's got it. He'll spin once and twice. And pirouettes his way across the blue line. Tap that along for Cad. Cad trying to get a step past Odie. Can't get him. Odie takes it out again. Pass along now. Down and icing. 103 seconds left in the first period. Faceoff will come back into the defensive end for Olympia.
And this is tough here as Prodigy just not able to answer like I've been talking about. They get another chance here in the offensive zone draw, Nick. Maybe here.
I lost that one as well. Faceoff dot's been great right now for McFlurry. Under a minute here to play in the first period. Plenty of hockey left, though. Grim fires one on. Slapshot Reject. Sees it the entire way. Good save.
Good save by Reject. 24 seconds left in the first period. Prodigy is looking to get out of this and build in the second.
Sometimes that's what you got to do as well as just take a period on the chin, take a second to think about it, and regroup. Odie drives in, gets that one poked away. Cat will drive it up the ice instead. Takes it on his own. Looking for one to Boots. Backhand chance just goes wide as Boots tried to get jiggy with it and tried to beat Reigns on the short side, but the opening goal goes to Odie, making things happen. His team's up 1-0.
What a play by Odie, Brandon, as he comes down to get a review of it there, beats out the goaltender dive and scores to make it a 1-0 game.
Yeah, and I think a great point is we have a very active chat. You love to see when the viewers are interacting with us during the game and interacting with one another. But something one of our chatters says, that's the experience of Odie showing right there. This is a guy that has been around really since the birth of NHL esports and has been one of the top defensemen and one of the top players for years, and that experience showing right there to make that aggressive play. He knew exactly what was coming, read it like an open book, and absolutely took advantage. And if Olympia wins this game, or if they even come back to win this series, to me, that is the play that might have turned the series around for them. A gigantic play there for Olympia. Now we'll see if Prodigy can come back after Olympia really pushing back here in this game 4.
Period number 2. Face off down. Push win. Out came with it was Prodigy for a brief moment. As they're down by 1 here. Speed on for Gilly, and now a penalty. Prodigy takes the trip. Olympia goes on the power play for the first time in this game.
Yeah, and they need to get this one in and possibly get a goal to get a little bit of insurance for them. Make themselves feel a little more comfortable. Here's Gilly.
Gilly does exactly what you said, Tegan. Power play goal. Playoffs on the line. And the right winger gets his 9th of the playoffs.
Called me Coach Tegan for the first time today for nothing. As what a goal by Gilly as he comes down and carries that on the forehand, goes back door, and Nick, you're saying there's a chance?
I'm saying there's a chance. Because I think if you're Prodigy, you might want to just take a timeout right now, as everything's kind of just all over the place. They got to regroup. Settle down. Olympia looks like a very different club than they looked in games 1 and 2, but Reigns gets tested there. 2 great shots, 2 great saves.
2 great shots, 2 great saves for Reigns, and he continues to shut the door for Olympia, and he is playing lights out right now. Fantastic stuff from him.
Geimer there trying to get a chance in front for Cad. Denied by the defense in Olympia. Odie's just going to shrug off 2 checks. Get that up top for McFlurry. They're going to trade positions now. Got a little bit out of sync, but they're back in it. Grim now right side. Going to dance that one along. We'll go back up to Odie. Odie, backhand pass back down, back to him. One-time chance. Oh, that was a rebound opportunity, rather, from the slap shot. Gabsy in front, chance. Gilly, loose puck, it goes in!
Wow. That's got to be tough for Prodigy there, Nick. That one just slid through, didn't it?
The puck trickles in. Gilly gets credited with the goal, and a timeout taken by Prodigy.
And that's the timeout that you said was needed before that 3rd goal. And now that you're in a scenario where you have 3 to climb back from, that's very tough with a goaltender like Reigns in the other end, Nick.
This one has certainly had the floodgates open up. So we welcome all of our viewers, twitch.tv/Capitals. As that one just trickled in, the shot was on. As they're trying to see, did a stick go through? Did the stick go through? I don't really know. Did it though? And no, it didn't. And instead, Gilly just keeps hammering at it. And it unfortunately gets past.
In.
Yeah,
Reigns puts that in with the front, his fingers on his blocker. He slaps that one into his own net there, Nick. Very unfortunate.
And that was Reject there, who looked stellar in game 2. Not so much here, a mistake there, as the save animations did not help out at all for Reject. And this all kind of is the momentum shift from Odie's amazing shorthanded goal. I say it time and time again, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it.
Yeah, exactly right. And you know what? You can't take your foot off the brakes here if you're Olympia, can you?
You definitely can. As we know, Prodigy can score. They do it well, like an LL Cool J song. As we move through center ice here. 3-0 your scoreline halfway through the regulation of game number 4. Fed up for Pogues. Pogues has been relatively quiet so far in game 4. Sent along the boards. Over to Grim, gets pushed along. Gabsy finally gets that out to Gilly. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Gilly just going to take it himself. Backhand chance. Reject flashes that leather. Good save there by the kick pads.
Yeah, that was a great toe save there, and maybe that'll get something built at the other end.
Good things happen when you do that, and there it is! Cad gets this goose egg off the board and cuts into the lead. They got 1 now, just 2 to go.
Does this ever have a script written? As how often, Nick, do we see a big save at one end and a massive goal at the other?
We have to figure out why that occurs, and I think it's because you get these odd man rushes down the ice. They come up with big saves, and then those players end up out of position on the counterattack. And when you do that, you're going to find holes in the defense if you move faster. And I think we've talked about this all season long, Tegan. As Pogues here with a chance in front. Cad scores! Pogues is going to get credited as it didn't get to Cad's stick. Pogues has another one here, and it's 3-2.
You know, Nick, some people would say odd man rushes. Some people say it's being in the right place at the same time. Some people say it's momentum, and whatever it is, it's sure turned on right now, isn't it? As Pogues tries to thread a needle out front, it goes off of the defender and goes in the back of the net.
As I thought that hit Cad on first look, but that replay shows 3 Olympia players in that lane, and it just kind of bounced off of one of them as Cad's got that on the bank pass. Lost it from Grim there. Kept in Geimer. Geimer lost it over to Gilly. Geimer keeps it in, though. Now Gilly takes it back. One-on-one. Stripped of the puck just by rubbing in front of it. As I was saying, we've talked about it all season long. It's doing the plays that you don't expect the other team's going to think you're going to do. And when you're able to do that, not do those routine movements, that changes how the game works. And I think by playing faster, sometimes that does benefit teams that don't operate that way and don't know what to do when you're on that counterattack. And we've seen it happen in the playoffs. It's favored the teams that are able to do that successfully.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Nick. And now we've got ourselves a whole new scenario here, don't we? As Reject coming in, making huge saves at his end, and the momentum is turned up and going towards Prodigy's end. So this should be a very interesting third as we carry on.
As we got some updates for you about overtime happening on the other side of the bracket. We'll get you out there in just a second with Brandon. This play continues here. 2:30 to go here in the second period. Down by 1. That shot just whiffed wide. Desi tries to throw it back in. He will. bMaJuH try to get it behind him. We appreciate all of our new viewers. The giveaway is over, at least for the Scuff. But the zip chair is available at Caps Gaming on Twitter. Go there and sign up to participate in that giveaway. Desi with a slap shot coming in. Not a lot on it. Goes just wide. Final 10 seconds here. Geimer in front. Couldn't get that shot off. Falls over to Desi's stick. And we'll make sure we get you that playoff update. But for right now, 2 goals there later on in the second period gets Olympia to just have a 1-goal lead instead of 3. They're still up 3-2 going into the third.
Yeah, and what a period here by Prodigy. They get themselves just about close enough to tie the game here, Brandon.
Yeah, that was a big 2 goals there in about a 3 to 4 minute stretch. You see Olympia up by 3 and you kind of start to wonder, like, man, is Olympia really about to do this? They're grabbing this game by the horns and doing it in style. And then just like that, in the flip of a switch, Prodigy comes in and scores 2. And really just the blink of an eye, you could have gotten up from the laptop, grabbed a drink, and went from 3-0 to 3-2 in a matter of a few minutes. So Prodigy just goes to show you they have that same factor of resilience as Olympia. But a few updates. Olympia tried to get themselves a Game 5. Well, 2 teams have earned such Game 5. Monarchs won their game versus number 1 seed Instinct. They just started their Game 5 a couple of moments ago. And Hidden Potential won a triple OT Game 4 to take Scary Hours to a Game 5. So 2 winner-go-home games. Olympia looking to join them.
Hidden Potential looking to keep their season alive with the work that they're doing there against Scary Hours. You'll love to see that. But what you'll love to see here is 18 more minutes here in the third period. Prodigy just needs 1 here to tie it as they try to get one slip past Pogs. Odie's there for it, though. As Odie cut inside, got that to Gilly. Gilly to Gapsey, behind the back pass. And that almost found Gilly on the backside. Desi with speed now, found it to bMaJuH. bMaJuH shot on, loose in front, and it just finds its way over to Reigns.
Yeah, and Reigns doing a good job of shutting the door. He's going to have to be perfect here for Olympia if they want to carry themselves into a game number 5.
Face off to his left. One back to Desi. Slap shot in, deflected, found Odie. Odie fires it all the way down. Will be pushed along by the stick of Reject, who's really stepped up in a big way and shown up here. Odie beat out Pogs on that flip and chip in. Now to Gapsey, quick passing, lateral passing, and it's a save, but a power play coming up for Olympia.
The old flip and chip there, as it did work to draw a penalty, and here goes Olympia to the power play.
Just under 30% on the power play here. Slap shot comes in, got screened. Loose there, flipped out and cleared. Olympia tries to work their way back in. They will by Odie. Odie stops up at the blue line. Now drives into the left circle, just dancing around. Beautiful play by Odie. Oh my goodness. Got that to McFlurry. And a power play goal on the docket here for McFlurry.
Again, Odie coming in with amazing, amazing plays to make sure that Olympia gets themselves into a game 5. He finds McFlurry backdoor, and it's an absolute gift-wrapped pass that goes backdoor for the shovel shot, and that's a goal.
Threading the needle indeed. As we got a 4-2 hockey game now. As things look, for lack of a better word, a little grim here. Post shot, though, from Polgs. And I was going to say looking grim for Prodigy, but Polgs trying to make that not happen. With 12:40 to play here, plenty of time in the third period.
Yeah, there's plenty of time left. We saw 2 quick goals from Prodigy, but now they have to do it in the third period with their backs against the walls here, so we could have a game 5 if this holds up.
Odie doing the hockey gods work here in game 4 as that pass found its way over to Reject. He'll hold on and freeze it. As Odie's been the star of game number 4 here.
He absolutely has been. As we've got a couple updates, Brandon.
We do. Game 5 started between Monarchs and Instinct, and Monarchs, the first ones to get on the score sheet. They're up 1-0 in the first period of game 5.
Cad takes that out to Polgs. He'll bounce into the zone. Boots trying to take that puck away. He'll bump off a few players. It won't work. 2-on-1 here. Flower to Gilly. He scores. Gilly's got the hat trick here. 3 goals to his name. It's 5-2 for Olympia.
5-2, and well, barring a miracle, I think we're going to get a game 5, and this is a great comeback from Olympia here as they win the last one in overtime. It's a demanding win here, and both teams with a couple of wins possibly to get themselves going into a game 5.
Will we see a game 5? 10 minutes away from deciding that. If you ask the 8-ball, he's going to probably tell you yes, at least for right now. Odie in down low. Up for McFlurry. Patience. Gabsy throws that wide. Now Gilly again, spinning around. Backhand chance there, and Reject makes the save. Gilly pushed along the boards. Out with it will be bMaJuH. bMaJuH over to Desi, and Desi will just drive the lane. Blue line cuts across, gives it over to Grim on the giveaway. Gabsy was looking for McFlurry maybe on that cut play. Get it out of the zone. Forecheck a little bit high right now. As a slap shot of the long breakaway chance here for Gilly. Good save there by Reject as he stood tall and followed that puck well.
Yeah, great job by Reject to kind of hold his own there and make sure. As we get an offside here with 5 minutes to go here. We've got a couple of updates over with Brandon.
Scary Hours and Hidden Potential started their game 1. They're in the first period, tied 0-0 so far, but maybe 3 game 5s here out of our 4 series. We'll see.
It's crazy to see how these teams can take them all the way up to game 5s, game 7s, game 3s, whatever. As Prodigy goes on the power play, this could be a little bit of life for them.
Yeah, a little bit of life is right, as they need a goal here to even have a hope, Nick.
They get that out over to Desi. Now Cad, fed in front, loose puck, poked at it, Reigns tracks it down.
Well, it is February, but Rain says that's not early enough for me. I'm waiting until June, as he's going to hold on to that one. Olympia doing a good job on the kill. They have 1:23 to go.
Another shot there coming in, Reigns. Every time they slow down the puck, this only benefits Team Olympia right now.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They don't mind holding on to this and just slowing things down and taking it step by step to collect a win.
Step by step, day by day. Shout out to the old Friday night lineup on ABC. You're Canadian. I don't think you had that, but, you know, whatever. I made the reference.
The ABCs I had is in school, my friend.
Puck's in deep now. 17 seconds left on the power play. Time winding down here for game 4. Picked off again by Odie. That was a nice move. That was the move that opened the scoring in period number 1. As Polgs is injured here. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Fakes the slap shot, does Grim. Under 1:40 here to play. Sent around behind the net. Taken out and passed along. Flipped out. Desi's going to go get it. Can't get there in time. Now we're under a minute. Good poke check. Scapsy takes it in the zone. Desi. Looking to move it out, and I think this is them knowing that they got to move on to live to fight another day. McFlurry's got the breakaway, though. Stops and goes. Maybe a sign of sportsmanship, or maybe they were trying something fancy. Either way, no goal. Cad now. Back skating in, as this is probably going to do it. So we are going to a game 5, Tegan, as these players will play this one out and move it along. All but a formality as it's thrown back in. Icing the call, but it won't much matter.
Yeah, it won't much matter. 6.3 seconds left, and you know, there's definitely a chance as we're going to see a do-or-die game coming up with both teams' backs against the wall.
And I'll let you guys decide and talk in the intermission game process here of if it's Olympia figuring out Prodigy or Prodigy just not able to get to the next level. But either way, we're going to see a game 5 here as Olympia wins this one 5-2.
A good W there from Olympia, Brandon, that's a fantastic game by them, and they give themselves a chance to come back into a W scenario here and win this series.
Yeah, and I think that you really have to give a lot of the credit to the right side of the ice for Olympia in Gilly and Odie. We talked about coming into the series how that was going to be a really big point of emphasis for Prodigy, shutting down Olympia's right side of the ice. And through the first 2 games, and I guess this kind of helps answer Nick's question a little bit too, they didn't really get a lot going through that right side. Gilly was held scoreless through the first 2 games. Odie wasn't really heard of a whole lot. So much so to where Gilly's first goal didn't come until the double overtime of game 3. So you're talking about 9 to 10 periods where he was scoreless, and all of a sudden you see Gilly get that goal, and then Odie, you would think he was playing 2K, just hit the takeover button, and all of a sudden he was all over the ice, picking passes off, scoring goals, making beautiful feeds to his teammates. And it just feels like Olympia, they have just woken up. It feels like the flame has ignited, and Prodigy really gonna have to take a step back, recollect themselves, and say, how do we push back? Because right now, Olympia, everything going for them in really every way. Some bounces, even not anything you can do if you're Prodigy, but they have got to find a way to respond, because Olympia right now, just absolutely on fire. You can tell they're feeling it really in every degree.
Yeah, it's a good thing they're on fire metaphorically, because they don't want to burn up their zip chairs, as we have 2 of them to give away, guys. As you want to head over to the Caps Gaming Twitter at Caps Gaming to enter for a chance to win a new gaming chair courtesy of Zip Chair Gaming. We still have 2 chairs left to give away, so stay tuned on Twitter as we progress through the Caps Gaming Showcase to see if you could be our one lucky winner. Just kidding, 2 lucky winners. The next winner will be announced this upcoming Wednesday on the Caps Gaming Twitter, and I will remind you that is at Caps Gaming. So we pop back into this one, bMaJuH. It is game 5. If we could have known, we would have started here. Both backs against the walls. 1 winner. Prodigy coming out winning the first 2. Olympia coming out winning the last 2. What does that mean, Brando?
It all comes down to 1 game, game number 5. And you know, if you weren't sitting in a zip chair, then your bottom may be a little sore right now. We've had some overtime periods, we've had lots of action, and man, it feels like it's never ending. But when you have a series as entertaining as this, 2 teams that are of this high of quality, you really don't mind it. Prodigy coming in and really delivering those first blows and getting off to that 2-0 lead. It was like, okay, Prodigy, they just have to win 1 of the next 3. They're in a really favorable position, but this is why we said what we said earlier. Do not count Olympia out. You never do, and there's a reason for that. They're showing exactly why here with the way that they just played in that game 4 and the way they stepped up in overtime in game 3. And now you kind of wonder if Olympia is almost the favorite now to win this game 5 with the momentum that they have building it really comes down to, can Prodigy come with a response now? Because Olympia, everything going for them, now Prodigy has to find a way to push back, because now their season is on the line. There is no cushion. There is no next game to look for. Their season is in the same fate as Olympia's if they lose this next game. So everything on the line for these two teams. You couldn't ask for more. I know Prodigy might have not wanted this much excitement for us, but I know you, me, and Nick are 110% here for the entertainment.
You bet I am. And one thing I love is Odie. We talked about last intermission, in between games 3 and 4, how the spark was kind of out for Olympia. There was maybe a little bit of flame, but not too much. Scratch that record, break it, throw it out the door, because Odie popped in with a jerry can and he is filling that fire, and the boys from Olympia are going. What a 200 IQ play. You never expect a defenseman to jump up on a penalty kill and steal that puck. That's why that pass is made. Odie comes down with a statement goal and leads off for Olympia in a strong fashion.
Yeah, and we sort of teased it there in the middle of that first intermission after he got that goal. But if Olympia wins this series, to me, aside from maybe the overtime winner in Game 3 for obvious reasons, that was the play of the series. It's one thing to get an overtime winner and to extend. It's another to pick off a play like that, get the opening goal, and do it short-handed against a team like Prodigy that's been really strong all season long. To me, that was the moment where the momentum really seemed to flip, and no better than a player like Odie to do that's been around so long, has that experience, one of the top defensemen and players in the NHL community for a reason, and he showed why right there in what was a huge moment in a big game for Olympia.
Massive game for Olympia. So we're gonna dive in the Caps Gaming Showcase presented by Leidos and brought to you by Leaguegaming. It is going to be a game number 5. One team in Prodigy or Olympia is gonna go home. The other, Brandon, is going to carry on to the top 4 to tune in to try and see if they can get their hands on $20,000 for all the marbles, my friend. It's all or nothing. Who's going to be the winner on either side?
Man, this is really, really tough. It's one of those things to where so many guys are stepping up in big moments. I think you got to look at Odie to continue to do what he is doing. Can't slide Gilly either on the Olympia side. And I'm looking at Polgs. He's been a little quiet the last few periods, but he's a guy that can turn it on at any moment. We've seen him come up with some highlight plays in big moments. Don't be shocked if he pulls a few tricks out of the back here in a game-deciding, series-deciding Game 5, Nick and Tegan.
Game 5. There is no greater game than a deciding series game between two clubs looking to move on to the next round of the playoffs. For Olympia, the defending champions, their series on the line, their throne could be upended here. For Prodigy, looking to pull off the upset and move on to the Caps Gaming Showcase semi-finals. And if Odie and his company has anything to do with that, they will not allow that to happen. As I mentioned in Game 3, they will not go quietly into that good night. Odie made sure that didn't occur as that one's fed in front. Taken out by bMaJuH. bMaJuH over to Cad. Back to bMaJuH, but Gilly got in the way of that one. So we want to know in chat, who do you have winning? Sound off. Twitch.tv/Capitals. Gabsy with the first shot of the game. Reject smothers it and holds on.
Reject taking a good save. He feels that puck early. None other than Gabs ripping that shot too. So both teams looking to get into it and get the feet moving early.
At this point, I don't think there's a thing as a bad shot, especially in a Game 5. Anything can happen. Got to get some good things happening right now for Prodigy as they just fell 2 games in a row as that shot came on. Deflected just wide. Odie looking to skate that in. Good poke check there. Geimer's got to look really sharp here on that left side against Odie. Scooped up by Odie. Fed into the middle. That's a good sliding move there by Reject. Great save there by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Odie with a good job for Olympia on the left-hand side. He gets that puck through, but what a sliding save by Reject. And here goes Prodigy.
Cad looking to pull the trigger from the high slot area. Grim stops up. Over to Cad now. Cad looking to cut the middle. He did so. Hits off bMaJuH's skate. And a little bit of give and go here on both sides of the ice. One and done's coming down. Odie will stop things up. The breakout will begin. 5 wide on the trap there for Prodigy. Chopped along but missed. Whiffed on that. Odie up top left point. Left point in down low left circle. Gets that poked free. Along the corner and out for Desi. Desi skates with speed through the neutral zone. Comes back though as nothing looked right. They'll start their way back up. Good communication there from Team Prodigy as that one's flipped in. Just couldn't get past Odie. Fakes the slap shot clapper. Grim will skate it in. Try to feed that one just past McFlurry's outstretched stick. Couldn't bury that one. One-time feed in front. Held him up. Good move there. Rips one there from the hash marks. And Gilly picks up where he left off in game number 4 and makes this one 1-0.
Olympia seems like they're going to keep driving this ship here. As what a goal-high slot there by Gilly, is 12th on the playoffs, and just a nice little move to open himself up with some space and a toe drag snipe. And he puts that one in the back of the net. 1-0 Olympia.
They are spreading the defense out really wide on those cross-ice passes, those cross-crease passes, and they're breaking open the defensive Prodigy right now. They find themselves down by 1, just like they did in game number 1. Now a chance for bMaJuH, though, on Reigns. Just hits off his pads, and he hangs on.
Yeah, good save there. And he's continuing in this past couple of games here to just be phenomenal as Reigns, and really giving his team a chance. He is a huge part of this comeback.
First shot there goes wide. And we're looking for Olympia. Back on the attack here. Cad gets tripped up, but he'll hold on and drop it off to Desi to start the breakout. Desi starting a lot of these breakouts lately. That time it's flipped in, got over to Pogues perfectly. Good pass there. Shot in. bMaJuH had it on the doorstep. Couldn't pull the trigger. Way to get in front of that one by Olympia defenseman. Shot there off the post from Pogues.
And a great first save as well by Reigns, but Prodigy, good answer by them to try and get the puck into the offensive zone, and here they go again as Pogues.
Pogues 3-on-2 here. Cad over the middle. Slap shot pushed off wide, deflected off of a stick from the defense in Olympia. Final 30 seconds here in the first period. We're winding down here. Final 10. Desi sidestepping one. Over to Cad. Cad pushed behind the back. Fed in the middle, looking to get that to Pogues, but it'll fall to behind the net. 1-0 your scoreline. Olympia in the lead here in Game 5 of this quarterfinal matchup.
And Brandon, you just can't not be impressed with Olympia coming back after losing 2 games, and their answer and how strong they've been. It's just been really amazing to watch.
Yeah, and it would be rare that you're not impressed with Olympia, and you could say the same in their opposition in Prodigy, but even more impressive, like you said, Tegan, down 2-0 in the series, having to win an overtime period, a double overtime period in Game 3 just to extend this thing, and then coming out in Game 4 in the beginning of Game 5 the way they have, absolutely impressive. Prodigy still trying to knock on the door for a response.
Prodigy got to get back into this one here. Can't get down too early by too many. They feed that one over to Pogues. Got past the defense. Fed in front. As Olympia shuts that play opportunity down. Good scoring chance there, but it came up just short. Gabsy over to Grim. These teams playing their plays extremely well, knowing exactly what they want to do and pulling off if it doesn't happen. And we have a clinch update that will get out to you at the next stoppage. Gabsy now. Or to Odie. O-D. Skates in. Wow, the skill stick of him right there. Gilly. Try to feed that one to McFlurry's tip. Can't get there. Desi will take it out. Desi stops and goes. Found bMaJuH, but Grim will strip him of the puck. Turn around on the counterattack. Stops up at the blue line. Bounced off the skate of Geimer. And that's bMaJuH way back there. Looking to reset, and they will from Desi.
Good trap hockey here from Prodigy. They need to continue to do that and capitalize on the chances, but they get down there, and there you got Odie and Grim you got to go against there, Nick, and they're doing the same thing.
Good way to push off the puck there from Gilly was Geimer is a nice pass up for Cad. Cad making it happen. Gets pushed along to the backboard. Desi's got it back up top now. Slap shot in, bounced off. Chance for Reigns to make that save. He does. 8 gone so far here in the second period. Geimer going to step in, force Odie to go all the way back and start again. And they will. Gabsy up the right side. Good defense there by Desi. Looking great so far after that opening goal by Gilly. Gabsy will take that away, though, on the intended pass up for bMaJuH. bMaJuH steals it, though. In a lane, can't find an intended target in his teammates. Halfway gone through the second period in regulation. Fed over to Gabsy. Gabsy again. Up top for Grimm. Grimm skates in, shot high, and Reject able to make the save. Let's go out to that clinch update with Brandon for the playoffs on the other side of the bracket.
It might have been close, it might have been a scare, but the #1 seed in Instinct moves on to the semifinals. They win their Game 5 versus Monarchs 2-1. Also, Scary Hours up 2-0 in their Game 5 versus Hidden Potential in the third period.
Game 5's galore, Tegan, as we got high-octane action from all hockey parts of the country.
Yeah, from left, from right, and Monarchs did a very good job last week getting themselves through. They were the 11th seed. They made it pretty far, but it was going to be Instinct who took them out.
Odie, with under 7:45 to play here in the second period, skates it in himself yet again. Gets checked off that puck, finds McFlurry's stick instead. Off to the left for Gabsy. That's Gilly who lost his stick. Gabsy trips over him. 5-on-3 for a brief moment, essentially. But somehow McFlurry controls the puck the entire way. What a dirty move by McFlurry to buy time in the offensive zone.
Yeah, great job by McFlurry as the Betty Hill theme song was happening in the right corner between his wingers, but he did a very good job to kind of compose and keep the puck.
McFlurry with a shot blocked there by Desi. Can't let these shots get through. We welcome all of our new viewers. Twitch.tv/Capitals F5 Penguin. It's King Lime and bMaJuH, joined by Dudley Do-Right off screen in this Game 5. As that goes offside, shot on. They're going to be okay with that. I thought they were going to get chippy, but no.
Yeah, we'll go down to Brandon, who's got some pretty important information again.
Another clinching scenario. Scary Hours ended up pulling that 2-0 win out in their Game 5. So Scary Hours moves on to the semifinals. So now 3 of our 4 teams clinched. 1 more to be decided in these next 30 minutes.
2 left here in the second. 1-0 your scoreline so far. Out over for bMaJuH. It Kareem's off the boards. In front for Cad, who gets a shot on. Not a lot on that one. Pushed off to his left and Reigns. Now behind the net, Pogs with a shot. Brings off the post. Good way for Cad to get in the lane there. Hold Gabsy, but it didn't work. Desi gonna take it up and around. Goes offside here. 3.5 seconds to play here, so 1 quick chance maybe to get one in, get a shot on.
It's great stuff by Olympia. Textbook hockey here. 3.5 to go. We'll see if they can win the draw and carry on and close out this game.
We saw those shots coming from downtown in Game 3. Haven't seen much of that since then, as Olympia looking to close this out by winning 2 games and now a third. 3 consecutive in a best of 5. See if they can pull it off, or will Prodigy come up with the upset? Right now, scores 1-0 going into the third.
We don't see the reverse sweep often, Brandon, but if we do, none other than Olympia to do so.
Yeah, and it's so fitting that it would be these 2 teams with such a tight series like this. I mean, even the stats in this Game 5, not really a lot separating the two. The exact same amount of shots, only 1 face-off separate each other, about 1% in terms of the passing percentages, and there's only about a 30-second difference in time on attack. So really, this game is going to come down to when you get your chances, can you capitalize? Capitalization so important, not just at the beginning of a sentence, but in hockey, especially when it is Game 5 and your season is on the line. You have a chance to move on to the semifinals. Can Olympia close it out, or can Prodigy tie it up? 1 period can decide it right here.
You can tell we're getting late in the broadcast as we get punchy with grammar puns here in Game 5. Nevertheless, 20 minutes of regulation left on the clock here. It's Olympia looking to shut the door and move on to the semifinals and continue their defense of the Caps Gaming Showcase Championship. $20,000 on the line here. Cad steps in, fires one, and that goes out of play. I thought that was destined for the back of the net.
Yeah, I thought it was for sure, as we're going to see a lot of shots come from Prodigy in this final period. You can almost also find that at the end of a sentence.
As play continues on here, Grim gets wrecked there by Desi. He's back down in his position. Haven't seen too many of those rebound chances coming in from Prodigy after game number 2. That goes icing. 15:46 here to go in the third period.
Like we said, this slow game is beneficial for Olympia because they are leading, isn't it?
Definitely is, and we're seeing more of that here. They've got to really turn up the pace when it comes to moving the puck up the ice. Maybe not resetting so much, as that shot comes in a laser from Odie. Reject makes that save. And I saw that in chat too, is people saying, hey, Prodigy hasn't adjusted enough. They need to do something different. It's the same reset play up the ice every single time.
Yeah, I don't know. They've got a lot of tricks up their sleeves. You know, it's scenario hockey at this point. You know, your head is, you got to understand the headspace they're in too, right? This is $20,000. There's a lot of money on the line. You're trying to adjust on the fly. It's a lot easier for everybody to say that in the chat. It's a lot different if you're holding the controller in your hand and the sweat's pouring down your face, right?
Absolutely. If you only had a Scuff controller to help you out and stay cool and dry and calm and collected.
Yeah, exactly right. And the best thing about these zip chairs is the mesh seat for sweating purposes.
Love the mesh seat as a Florida guy for sure. Play moves on from Odie. 7 gone so far in the third period. Down by 1 is Prodigy. Fighting off a checker there in Desi. Finally gets that puck wrapped from Geimer. Desi sidestepping a play there. Good for Gabsy. Gets that in front. Over to bMaJuH. bMaJuH out for Cad. Now back, Pogs trying to fire one off the back of the cage. Maybe on the side of the cage. Chance in for bMaJuH again on the steal. Pushes him off the puck. Desi right point. Stops and turns. Now feeds it to Geimer. Deflected. Couldn't get it on net. Geimer now again. Has it at center. Trying to bring it back in. bMaJuH has a step. Oh, try to feed that one over on the right side to Cad. But here's the turnabout. McFlurry. Lost that puck. 3 Prodigy players back there. Halfway gone in the third period. Now time winding down here for Prodigy. All the way down. Icing's going to be the call. 8:23 left here in the third.
I think that was a debatable icing call, but one thing I've noticed is when Prodigy is coming into the zone, they're having a very hard time. It's just free entries, it seems, for Olympia.
Set play. Desi shot blocked there in front. Second effort. Fell to Gabsy's stick. Now Gilly will clear. He's out of the zone and over center. Fed over to McFlurry. McFlurry fed in front. And Olympia goes on the power play. Interference call on Prodigy.
Well, this could be it here, Nick. This could be the dagger. This could be the written scripture if Olympia scores here.
See what they can do. They stepped up to almost 40% of the power play through this series. That pass errantly goes out of the zone. For Prodigy, they can wrap one around and maybe beat them out on an Omaha play. Or pick one off like Odie did shorthanded in game 4. Odie was the star of that game. See what he can do here with the puck on his stick. Out center point. Driving in deep. Here comes Grim. Grim fed in front across the mouth of the goal. And finally out. 40 left here in the man advantage for Olympia. Odie's got it back. 2 men deep. Shot in, scores. Gilly gets a power play goal. 2 goals this game. It's 2-0.
Yeah, that is a tough goal to give up if you're Prodigy. And you know, they got to be just so in their head. You know what I mean? You come out and you win the first 2 games and you're just thinking there's no way that this reverse sweep's coming. Well, Gilly comes down with his 13th of the playoffs with an amazing pass from the point, and that has just been the tail of the tape, isn't it? The amazing passes and work from the defense of Odie and Grimm to get the puck up and letting those forwards capitalize. We've got ourselves in a 2-0 hockey game with both of those goals coming from the same man.
Gilly put the team on his back with help from Odie. Try to get this series wrapped up. Proof that you're never out of it until the final whistle. As we have 4.5 left here in the third period. And Prodigy's been shut down through 4 periods now of regulation hockey.
That's a tough pill to swallow, isn't it, Nick? Especially in an elimination game.
This play continues on here. 3 to go. They've really got to turn it up now if they're going to do it. Beat out the icing, but couldn't get a hold of the puck. Time winding down. Will they pull the goalie early? Sent in deep, trying to cause some havoc. And now the forecheck got to step in here. Pogues got Cad 2-on-1. Fed over to him, but couldn't connect. Broken up. Under a minute to play here. As the champion, defending champs Olympia, standing tall here. Can they pull off the reverse sweep? Dumped in deep. Smart by Olympia. Olympia might pull a moniker from the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Olympia Findaways, I think, is what they could be renamed, as they're coming up on 30 seconds here. Left in regulation. And Prodigy goes offside here. 25.1 second. I've seen crazy things happen, Tegan, but I don't know if we'll see something here.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm so impressed with Olympia right now. Just in and out, they find a way to get the job done. And that is just amazing to see an esports team take hold and do that. You know, not shuffling around their lineup that much, you know, definitely filling a couple holes, but filling them with people that make a difference. And they definitely know how to win hockey games. Great job by them here in this series to take the W.
So we got a face-off here, all but a formality at this point, more than likely. 1-for-1 on the power play tonight just a little bit ago to get that insurance marker as Reject throws that out. Played great so far and just got bested by some amazing scoring in Olympia. As they pull off the reverse sweep here, Olympia. 1 second left, that's gonna do it. They win Game 5 and the defending champions move on to defeat Prodigy in 5 games and force game number 5, and they move on to the semifinals. The defending champions still alive for their shot at $20,000.
Nick, Scuff controllers are flying, keyboards are everywhere. I know they're not happy with that one, my friend. And well, it was a great game and a great series nonetheless. A reverse sweep by our gentleman over there with Olympia.
You definitely don't see it too often here, as, wow, Olympia stood in the trenches and with their backs literally up against the wall, they pull it out in 2 overtimes in game 3 to take this and move to game 4 and game 5 and win out 3 games in a row. Basically 4 games in a row if you consider the 2 OTs that they had to endure.
I'm just so impressed. I said it there, Nick. I'm so impressed with them. They have been absolutely phenomenal. Those first 2 games, that's got to be deflating. You are the defending champions. You're coming out, you take an L in overtime, then you end up giving up a shutout, and it was what, 5 periods where they went without a goal, and they just said enough is enough. And Odie picked up that puck, and it's like the whole game was flipped on its head, and they came back with a reverse sweep with an overtime win, a 5-2 victory, and then our guy Reigns coming out and finishing it off with a shutout. Just great stuff by Olympia, and I'm proud to see them move on to the top 4.
And a shutout for Reject as well, who's an up-and-comer in this as well. Prodigy makes their way all the way to the quarterfinals, and it's not without the help of the goalkeeper in Prodigy.
Yeah, exactly right. Both goalies, I definitely tip my cap to them, Nick, as both of them playing absolutely lights out here. But it is only going to be Olympia carrying it on to the top 4 seed.
And they're going to go on to hopefully win a shot at $20,000. You can go on to win a potential Zip Chair gaming chair right here if you go on Twitter. Do not type in exclamation giveaway. Go on Twitter and try to win yourself at Caps Gaming a Zip Chair gaming chair. I have one. The mesh bottom is great, especially in humid environments. I know Tegan's got one. He loves it at Caps Gaming. There are 2 chairs left to give away. Go get yourself one of yours.
Yeah, go get your hands on one of these amazing, amazing chairs that you see on your screen. I want to remind you that is at Caps Gaming. So as we pop over to myself and bMaJuH, you got a little bit of update on what we have coming up here for the semifinals, my friend.
Our semifinals are officially set. We will have Instinct versus Olympia, the finals rematch from last season for our semifinals. That's 1 versus 8. And then our other series, Scary Hours at the 3 seed versus 4 seed, Isles GT. So we have 2 of the 2 champions. We have a runner-up from last season. This is about as good as it gets, Tegan. Those are 2 great matchups, and the fun continues, doesn't it?
Yeah, the fun definitely continues, Brandon. Is top 4, and those are great teams. Instinct, Olympia, Scary Hours, Isles GT. It is going to be lights out games no matter what, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what's so fun about this tournament especially, is that, like we said, all of these just lights out games. Like we mentioned, Olympia and Instinct, that was the final last season. Those 2 met and played in that final last season, with Olympia obviously prevailing in that series. And then you have Isles GT, who under the old Entourage name won the first Caps Gaming Showcase, and then Scary Hours, formerly Vertigo, who has won plenty of championships in their own right. So all of these teams, championship pedigrees, and they're looking to add 1 more trophy to the trophy case here if they can. And if they can win out for 2 more weeks, then they might just be able to do it. So a lot of fun and a lot to look forward to next week with the semifinals, and then the week after with our finals matchups, both for EU and here for NA.
Yeah, and they might just be able to do it. Brandon, always a pleasure doing this with you, my friend. You are the best in the business at analyst, and it is just amazing what we get from you as we pop back over to Nick and Brandon. bMaJuH Bigsby, isn't he just a fantastic guy to have here doing this stuff? He is top notch.
One of the best, man. I will put my entire 14-year broadcasting career on that kid, the up-and-comer future star in NHL esports and all of esports commentary. Mark my words on this tape today. Hands down.
I'll put 14 minutes on it as well, Nick. So I gotta say, he's hands down one of the best, my friend.
I'll fight anybody. But anyway, Olympia fought back here in this matchup, took down Prodigy 3-2, moves on to the semifinals, and they will face Instinct. So I think it's seeds 1, 2, 3, and 4 to go through this here. So a matchup for the ages. Instinct, Olympia, Scary Hours, Isles GT, but then Olympia, being the 8th seed, comes up big here and takes down one of the odds-on favorites on paper, but the defending champion's not going to go out without a fight.
They're not. The flame is lit, the torch is fired, and Odie's carrying that thing, let me tell you that, and they are going to be moving on to the top 4.
They definitely are, and we will be here next week to bring you those best of 5s as we know and love in the semifinals before we get down to the finals. There will be a scheduling change for the finals. We'll have that for you next week so you know what to expect. But for right now, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and in between that, at Caps Gaming on Twitter. Go there. Get yourself a Zip Chair. So on behalf of our partners here, Zip Chair, Scuff, Leidos, Leaguegaming, MSE, and of course Caps Gaming, on behalf of everybody, Dudley Do-Right, our league organizers, bMaJuH, it's King Lime. My name is Nick DeMeo, aka F5 Penguin. Thank you so much for letting us be in your households every single week so far through the Caps Gaming Showcase. We certainly appreciate it, and we'll be back next week for the semifinals. Take care, everybody. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.